Chapter 26, Another Year Passed. Y3 Day 153, Turn 7. I just turned 7. It's time for another recap of last year to check the progress I made. I have successfully completed the first version of Seimeikaiken/Life Return. I have control over my metabolism and can redirect the energy I gain from food to various parts of the body. But that's about it. I still haven't figured out how to make my cells store that energy for longer periods of time. The energy that I would store will be used in healing injuries while I fight. This way it will cut down my stored energy instead of taking it from my stamina. During this year I grew a lot. Increasing the growth hormones by double speed up my growth a lot, though I have to eat a lot to sustain this growth. So I made sure to intake a lot of different foods necessary for my growth. Protein, carbs, minerals, vitamins, and more. Advance/possessing spirit and removal are combined to make the divine demon. I increased the percentage I can use with them without too much backlash, so that was a success. Photographic reflex were improved yet again, the efficiency increased, but not enough to make a noticeable difference during my fights. It just makes incorporating the things I copy go much easier. I am now 133 centimeters tall and weigh 31 kilograms. Doing great for a 7-year-old since an average 8-year-old is 128 centimeters tall and weighs 25.6 kilograms. My family just shrugged it off, since there were a lot of kids whose genes, or quirks made them grow faster. It wasn't anything too uncommon. We went to a doctor, like usual he didn't do his job right, and just said I was fine and I'm growing faster. The dude was so lazy that he just said my advice is to let him eat until he is full. Which is true, but he didn't mean it in a helpful way and slouched when he was talking to us, totally unprofessional. MC was 121 centimeters tall and weighs 25 kg during finals. Soon after I turned 6. I left that stupid dojo. It took me longer than I thought, but leavening after just whining some tournaments would lead to some backlash, so I let out some news beforehand that I was planning on visiting other dojos and gyms. And I did just that. At 6 years old, I went around beating people up. They immediately assume that I'm weak because of my size, but I have been training my legs since day one. So I go from place to place, act weak, make the fights last longer, copy everything they have, then I strike. My speed is my biggest advantage. Before they even notice what's happening, I appear in front of them and telegraph an attack to their balls. Works like a charm every time. The attack suppresses them and they try to dodge, which leaves them off balance. I just capitalize on that and knock them out. I do that every time I go to a new dojo or gym. Over the course of a year. Karate, Aikido, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Systema, Krav Maga Savate, Silat, MMA, Judo, even Chinese Kenpo. I even went to a wrestling gym. I won't be using that until I'm big enough, but having the techniques is worth it. I just watched the instructors spar. The owner of the dojo has a competition every 3 months. The instructor that wins it gets a bonus in his pay. I didn't stick to just bare-handed martial arts. Kendo, fencing, knife techniques in various military styles. Arni/Eskimo uses wooden batons. I went to every possible place they train martial arts in my and the nearby cities. After I copied them, I just kept practicing them. Anything that was useless, I threw out, and I only kept the useful parts. And lo and behold, a perfect martial art, latterly custom made for me, was born. But this is only the beginning. During this year all of my abilities increased again, especially my martial arts. I have never once skipped leg day. I focus on my legs more than the rest of my body. I'm planning on recreating the Roku Shiki, which half of them rely on leg strength, so that means I need to have a lot of leg strength. The way I'm growing, I think I can seriously start training next year. That means taking my training up by a couple of notches. My body should be able to handle the strain from what will decently be pure torture. Then I will incorporate the Roku Shiki and any ability from fiction I can recreate into my self-made martial art. I'm planning on recreating most of the well-known fantasy martial arts, ones that can work according to theory. But that's for when my body gets strong enough for me to be able to actually use them. For now, strengthening my body, and perfecting what I know will do, any new things I learn will be broken down, useless parts thrown away, and the good stuff will be incorporated into my marital art. I'm still working on the name, it doesn't really matter what I call it. I'm tempted just to call it Kodo style and leave it at that. School has been interesting to say the least. I have shown great potential, and have top marks in every subject. If I didn't get top marks with the cheat that is my quirk I really should just kill myself. I got bumped up 2 years, so instead of being in my 2nd year, I'm in my 4th year. Which is fine for me, the less time I spend here the better. Unfortunately U.A or other hero schools, don't allow anyone who isn't 15 to enter hero high schools. So once I finish junior high school, which is usually kids start at 12 years old, I'll be either continue my education in a normal high school or I'll be taking a break. And by that I mean traveling the world, increasing my fame, make connections, and get more blackmail material, for when I eventually enter politics. You can never have enough blackmail material. I entered and won even more tournaments fighting, programming and school tournaments. I'm apparently once in a century genius now. Actually gathering fame is pretty easy. What you do with it is what matters. I even started modeling. At first I wanted to tell the scouts to fuck off, but the more I thought about it, the more benefits I could get if I play my hand right. I can play in some commercials with heroes that would get me noticed instantly from their fans. By doing this I'm meeting a lot of people, heroes, producers, managers, etc. And the best part is, they don't have good protection on their phones. Hello blackmail material. I don't feel guilty at all. Even if I had such a thing, I wouldn't feel it in this case, because almost all the so-called heroes looked down on me for having a weak quirk. They still did the commercials with me because of the publicity they will get. One thing that totally caught me off guard was gets invited as Momo's trainer. But after explaining to me it did make sense. Momo is a lonely girl and has no real friends. Her parents are trying to set up a play date with a kid who won't be intimidated by her status, or just want plainly use her. So they gave me the position of being her trainer, though I can only work on safe things, like flexibly and stamina with her. They offered a buttload of money so I easily accepted. Making connections with one of the richest families in Japan, and get paid. Yes please. Plus maybe I can mold the kid to become something useful to me in the future. She is rich, academically smart, and has a god-class quirk depending on how it's used. Sadly she has zero creativity and confidence. She can make guns, cannons, sniper rifles, poisons, and probably a nuke if she had the energy. And what did she do with it? She used her power to make a staff, shield and flash grenades. She will be pain, and it will take a lot of work, but it will be worth the investment. I hope. ######. Word count 1385. A/N. It might seem weird that he writes down his thoughts like this, but people like him are always eccentric in some weird ways, they all have their quirks, no pun intended. So he writes down whatever he thinks, then once in a while he goes back and rereads the whole thing. He sees his changes in thinking, his growth, success, failures, and just keeps going forward with that information. Like me and the first drafts I wrote 2 years ago, they were god awful, like eyes bleeding from reading it awful. I do go back and see the ideas I wrote down and my thoughts then once in a while, and I get inspiration from it. #######. This is a copy from the latest MS chapter. Well, I haven't been Ice Guy yet. Don't know if that's good or bad. My boss is an ass, he makes us work harder in the 1 hour and that leaves us exhausted for the rest of the day. This week I just get home, eat and fall asleep. I haven't had any time to write. So being Ice Guy Ed is looking pretty good right about now. Anyway, here is the second chap this week. I will try and see if I can release another one tomorrow, but no promises. Oh, and I made a Q&A. Someone asked if I was a girl. That ain't gonna fly XD. So there will be some basic Q&A in the auxiliary chapters. If you have any others, just write in the comments. I might answer them. Till next time. Chapter 27, 8th birthday. Once I am done with the time slips, things will pick up pace, and it's going to go fast. Word count 1830. == celebrating the 8th birthday. Hashtag. Happy birthday Shinichi, everybody yells out. Sigh, I told them not to do it every year, but my parents just don't listen. Birthday parties aren't my thing. Shin-chan, open my gift first, Ran says from my left. No sensei, open my first, this time it's Momo from my right. Shin, when did you get so popular with the girls? Tetsuya smirks a little. I can feel a tick mark forming on my forehead. I'll get him back for that later when we spar. He is getting too cocky since he's grown a lot bigger. He is 12 now. But you have grown a lot. If you keep this up, you will catch up to me soon. How is this fair? The only thing I had on you was my age and height. He starts complaining. Stop whining just because I got good genes. Besides, you are already taller than kids your age. Yeah, but kids, they aren't the one that always beat me in spars. I could barely fight you when you were little. Now you are growing like crazy, or so he says. Really, your words and your face don't match. Wipe is that stupid grin off your face. You want me to get taller, so we can have more intense sparring sessions. Sigh. How did such a nice kid like you turn into a fighting junkie? I shake my head. That's your fault. I was having normal fighting sessions in my gym, but ever since I met you, I have been improving a lot thanks to your crazy training program, and the gym spars are boring now. Hey, it's not that bad. You train until you feel that your muscles start tearing and you keep pushing to the absolute limit you can take, and only then you stop. That isn't crazy. He looks at me with his stoic face, but his eyes are saying you are crazy. Well, once I turn 9 next year, I plan to triple my training regimen, so there's that. Tetsuya just sighs and face palms. I might love fighting, so calling me a battle junkie is true, but in that case you are a training junkie. Whenever I see you, it's usually some sort of training. What kind of idiot does his studies and is standing in a horse stance all day? I shrug. You can't argue with the results. I have technically never lost. I did tie a couple of times with the adults, but I haven't lost yet. And grin at him. This world isn't fair. How am I supposed to win with a freak like running around? Maybe we need to spar more so I have the chance to catch up. He says it so dramatically that you would think he is playing a role in a theater. Okay, stop it, you drama queen. We will spar in a few minutes. After that we eat. Yoshi fist pumps. Suddenly Momo and Ran come to us, and look at Echo there, and 1, 2. Can we watch, please? See. Puppy dog eyes on full throttle. No, I just stopped them right there. Come on Shinichi, pretty please, with a cherry on top. Ran tries again. Yeah, my babysitters said that it's okay, Momo says. I just quickly turn my head to them, and stare them down. Momo has a maid and 2 bodyguards with her, in civilian clothes. The rest are outside, also in civilian clothes. She had to do a lot of convincing to come to my party. The maid just smiles and the actual bodyguards turn their faces away and start sweating. While I was training Momo at her home, I used the guards as sparring partners. At first they were looking down on me because of my age, and my fake skills. But after a few rounds, and most of them curled up on the floor holding their balls, they started treating me a whole lot better. I have been training my speed since I could walk. Doesn't matter how big they are, if they can't catch me it's useless. After that they tried again, but they still couldn't win against me. I just kept dodging and hitting their weak spots. One person does this until they tap out for another to come fight me. They are excellent body bags. But they still know what happens when I get mad. I went easy on them when I hit them in the balls, and warned them that if they try to screw with me, I'll crush them next time. Sigh, I'm not wasting any more time, and worst case they will go complain, and my mother will show up. Talking to her will be an even bigger waste of time, especially since she likes to rant at me with her eccentric behavior. Fine, but you will be far away and stay quiet, got it? I glare at them. Yay, I already regret this. Why couldn't we just invite them to dinner or something? Parties like this with the decorations aren't my style. Bring food and drinks and have a good time is better in my opinion. Me and Tetsuya go into my backyard for a quick spar with two uninvited spectators, while our parents are talking in the living room. To be fair, my parents should have noticed something when I say we were going out to play. I don't think I have ever said anything remotely close to a word like play when I was younger. So how far are we taking this? I ask Tetsu while loosening up my shoulders. I'm taking it to the max, so I will be using my quirk. You will probably won't use that thing you can do, and even if you use it you will still keep your strength just below mine so you get a good fight out of this. Am I right? Wow, that has to be the most words he put in a sentence in a while. I just grin at him. Bingo, you know me so well. I knew there was a reason we are friends. I'm your only friend, the rest just ran away after you beat them up, he says with his ever so stoic tone, plus you act a lot more mature than what people expect. And I thought I was very mature compared to others my age, but you put me to shame. Meh, I don't need some whiny kids around me, and don't bother with how mature you are, just be yourself. If people don't like it they can fuck off, and if they get violent break their bones in secret. Sigh, I swear it feels like I'm talking to my elder cousin when I'm with you, and he is in his 20s, and goes for that bad boy image. Tetsuya shakes his head. Tetsu, you act like a 18-year-old, you have no right to tell me to act my age. Plus what do I always tell you about acting? Fake it, when you are in public or on camera, and only drop the mask when you have enough power so that it doesn't matter anymore, he recites from memory but then continues. But it's such a pain, why do you even bother with this shin? By the time you are 20, you will be able to decimate anyone who doesn't have the same strength level like the ones on the top 10 hero rankings. Tetsu, you need to stop believing all the shit they say. The top 10 is a publicity poll, they are the most popular heroes, the only ones who will be a problem will be the top 5, I say confidently. So All Might, Endeavor, Best Jeanist and Edge Shot? He asks, feeling unsure. Yeah, those 4 are a problem, I say solemnly. But why, aren't they heroes? Alright, media brainwashing. You will get it in a few years, I say while touching my imaginary beard asterisk. Good thing I didn't mention me wanting to fight All Might. If I develop my marital arts to a high enough level, all the physical strength in the world won't be able to save All Might. As for Endeavor, that cocky abusive arsonist, grab a high-quality fireproof suit and beat the hell out of him. I have no way of fighting future Hawks and Edgeshot because of our incompatibility, so I'll probably lose to them. I need to work on how to beat opponents like them. Wait and see, young Padawan, all will be revealed when the time is right. He doesn't buy any of my bullshit and just says let's start already. I shrug and we start sparring. Tetsu is 12 years old right now. He had a bit of a growth sprout this year, he put on quite a lot of muscle, more so than you would expect from an early teen to have. Combine that with his constant practice with his quirk, which gives him passive superhuman strength, boosts his strength by 30% when he activates it, he is easily standing near the top of his age group when it comes to combat. As for me, even though I literally just turned 8, my body is that of a 10-year-old, thanks to me messing with my growth hormones. We sparred for a while. Tetsu actually forced me to use the Divine Demon. I could have just used the advance or the removal. But I rarely get the chance to train Divine Demon. And by train I mean getting used to the enormous amount of strain you are put through when you use it. After 5 minutes our parents came to check on us because Ran and Momo were cheering too loudly. I stared them down until they hung their heads down and started to tear up. Sigh, this is why I don't interact with kids other than Tetsu, normal kids are too much for me to handle. Fine, you are forgiven, just don't do it again next time. They brighten up when I say that. God, I hate kids. Next time? You are planning on doing this again? No, it's too dangerous. Shinichi, listen to your mother. Nag. 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 Like I don't fight all the time on tournaments. She sees me take it to the next level and starts the lecture immediately. Tetsu has the same expression as me as his mother is scolding him too, but too bad for him, he can't mute his mother. I still know what she is saying by reading her lips, but I don't have to listen to her voice. Do I care that I'm doing this to my own mother? Not at all. I will do what I want. I didn't want to listen to her, so I don't. It's that simple. Hashtag hashtag hashtag. Why for day 154. The guests have left, and another win for me. Tetsu was peeved that he couldn't make me use more power, and knew that he would lose if we weren't interrupted, but as always, instead of being disappointed, he uses it as motivation to grow stronger. Honestly, he might become a top hero if he keeps this up. He will reach the necessary strength needed for being a pro hero, so in 3 more years he will have to choose whether to go to a hero school. Let's begin the recap of the last year 7 to 8. Word count 1900. A/N. Asterisk, do I really have to use stroking my beard? Tetsuya was 10 during the mini gladiators, and MC was 2 months away from being 6. Tetsu 12. MC 8. Chapter 28, Recap 7 to 8. Day Y for day 154 turned 8. Recap of 7 to 8. Started the extreme training age 8, body is 10 years, can handle the strain from the training. Torture starts now. There was nothing important this year. I just improved the old technique/skills. Trained my body a lot. Since I have the body size of a 10-year-old, I can handle more stress from training now. Not that my body is normal by any means necessary. I have been running, stretching, training since I was 3. Combined with the Seimekiken/life return, where I have been consuming a lot of minerals to strengthen my very bones while they are still in their growth phase. I continued to study lot of programming and biology. I am confident to start messing with the more important areas of my body, and by that I mean one mistake and I could die. Sure, I messed with the heart and the brain, but that was a little change in the natural way the body works, and it had fail-safes in it. Now for the things that I plan to do, there isn't anything natural about them. I started hacking around, taking a bit of money here and there. And started improving the spy flies. Those little guys are so useful, the blackmail alone makes them worth it, not to mention when some idiots reveal important information I can then sell on the black market later on. I need him to be 9 years old, and have a good enough body to fight, something along the lines of 13-year-old Robin from Young Justice. The real stuff happens when he is 9 years old. Training Momo, really it has its perks. I continued TP fight a lot with the Yayorozu bodyguards. They are some of the best bodyguards in the world. Retired soldiers from different contrives come here. They have solid quirks too. Not to mention the facilities they have. It isn't top tier but it's very close to it. You have your classic gym equipment, and then you have the expensive stuff like compressed weights. Not to mention the sauna and pool. I added those to my training. I warm up my body in the sauna, then go into a pool with cold water. This would be very stupid for a normal human to do, but for me not so much. I'm doing this to stress my body even further. There are studies that show this has great health benefits, but normal people can't handle the stress that it causes. For example, if you heat a metal and then rapidly cool it, there is a chance for it to break, same with the human body. Nevertheless, I get a great benefits from them. My body has gotten stronger. If I keep up this routine. Momo, the kid admires me, for some weird reason. most likely a childhood crush, since I'm quote cool. I can use this to mold her into a better minion, but sadly for her, the feelings she has for me won't be returned back. My teenage years were hell. Teens are moody, think the world rotates around themselves and bitch a lot, and I'm not looking forward to spending any time with someone else other than Tetsuya. Maybe Todoroki would be some nice company, his quirks makes it difficult for me to fight him, he would be nice company if he wasn't such an emo revenger. Now Momo had a lot of confidence issues in the show, that will need to go, and she was just too damn nice, that's going to need to go as well. If someone like Mineta harasses her, I'll train her to just crush their balls into paste, her parents can easily handle the backlash. Despite everything, I am grateful to the Yaorozu family, me using their facilities speed up my training by a lot. Hashtag 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 hashtag. Y5 day 155, turned 9. Mother, why do you insist on doing this every year? I say with a tried voice. She throws these parties every year, and each year she goes too far with the useless decorations. Why the hell is there a dog here, and why is he drinking my juice? Shin-chan, your birthday must be celebrated, and I won't have many chances to do this when you are older. She starts to scold me before continuing. And why didn't you let me invite more people? It's not nice to not invite your cousins. How many of them do I actually know, and how many want to meet me just to get to take pictures with me to say that they know me? I deadpan at her. Yeah, I'm not wasting time with people who want to use me and give nothing back in return. And why is that soon-to-be dead dog here? His ears perk up when I mention him. Isn't he cute? My friends asked me to take care of him for a while. I have been thinking of getting a dog, what do you think? She tilts her head and asks me with hopeful eyes. Yeah, like that's ever going to work on me. I kneel beside the dog, and say in the coldest voice I possibly can, if you poop, pee, or make any noise while you are here, I'll skin you alive, doggo. Are we clear? He starts shaking, before he runs off to hide under the couch. I get up and look at my mother. Looks like he doesn't like me, and I don't want a dog, but you can get one if you want. If she gets a dog, I'm betting it will run away within a day of staying with me. Dogs can sense what kind of person you are, and they are not going to like what they find about me. Anyway, while Tetsu is stuffing his face with pizza, and Ran and Momo are giggling in the corner, I'll do my yearly recap, right now. I basically replaced Sonoko from Detective Conan with Momo. Ran and Sonoko were best friends and Sonoko was filthy rich just like Momo. Hashtag hashtag hashtag. Recap of year 8 to 9. Real shit starts now. Training triples, more extreme, now that his body can handle it. At 7-year-old, he was tall as 8 to 9. At 9 he is tall as 13-year-old. That's Robin's age in Young Justice, and he was kicking major villain ass, so yeah. Roku Shiki, Sarujepo Rankyaku. Nico style, Tokaido Oma. Water crushing fist, bang. Whirlwind iron cutting fist bomb. Explosion fist. Young bang. Razor's edge Raido from Kengan. Pink muscules Kenichi the mightiest disciple Akasame. Equals Baki cord cutting karate stabbing a finger in his flesh and severing vital nerves, mostly the meridian nerves, the big ones that branch out to smaller nerves, equals Shigen. I have worked a lot on the theory of these moves over the past year, tried it myself, did simulations on how they would work. First, the easiest to figure out was Whirlwind iron cutting fist bomb. It works on the same principle as Rainjaku but with both arms and legs. To do that I need to strengthen my whole body, especially the fingers on my hand, since they are the ones that will be cutting the air. A lot of these martial arts intertwine, I need finger strength for a lot of them, so in reality I'm making preparation for most of them, that's why training the basics is important. The fingers are a prime example. Whirlwind iron cutting fist, Shigen, Razor's edge, cord cutting karate, they all rely on extremely strong fingers. And this is just one small part of the body. So I focused on my fighters a lot this year, together with the outside partial training to toughen them up. I changed them on the inside as well, making them stronger. I should be able to use them for staving attacks soon. ####. The incident: some thugs ambush him in the bad part of town. Went there on purpose, less cameras, divine demon, and butchered them. The incident: I was getting restless of not having anybody to test my more dangerous skills. So I decided to disguise myself and take a stroll in the bad part of town. After an hour walking there, a group of people showed up, and started to surround me and pressure me into going into the alley, which was a dead end. He, boy, you made a bad call coming here. He looks like he will catch a fair price, such a cute face. I think I'll have some fun with him before we sell him a hug, man says with a lustful smile. No way, you ruined the last merchandise, this one will be worth a lot, you aren't getting anywhere near him. Sting, you and your boys take him down and drug him. A fat guy in a suit says. A person with a scorpion quirks comes out from the group. No problem, boss. He starts walking towards me and maliciously smiles. Don't worry, kid, it will only hurt a little, then when you wake up you will be starting your new life as a slave. I grin as I hear his words. I will have absolutely no problem killing any of them, and some look like they may even put up a fight. Oh really? Then I extend the same courtesy to you. Don't worry, dipshit, it will hurt a lot, and when you wake up you will start your new life in hell. I waste no time activating Divine Demon at 10%, this is the current maximum I can hold out for a few minutes without it having any side effects on my body. But a few minutes is enough for these guys. What the hell? Before Sting could even move, I rip his throat out. Shoot him now. The fatso yells. I just dash to the next person and break his neck. Judging by their reactions and eye movement, they didn't even see me move. So I'm assuming I looked like I just appeared in front of them, fucking wimps. They start to shoot at me, but I didn't train for nothing, my brain processes the direction the bullets will go, and I use my overwhelming dexterity and flexibility to dodge the bullets while moving towards them. Hi, say away, he screams like a little girl as I shove my fingers in his throat. Shen, do something, the fatso calls out to his right hand, I think. Kill him, somebody kill him, a white peacock yells out. I just keep killing them, while dodging bullets. They suck, how stupid are they to surround me in a circle and start shooting. Keep firing. Keep firing. Shen. Yeah, sure, keep shooting yourselves, what a bunch of morons. 2 minutes later, only the peacock is left. Please don't kill me, I'll give you anything, I have money. I grab his face, with my hand shutting him up. Oh, don't worry, you see I have studied the human body extensively, but this is the first time I will be using it for torture, so I wish you luck, because it will be extremely painful. His eyes widen in fear. And the sooner you give me all the information you got, the sooner you get to be released from your pain. I want bank account, safe houses, anything and everything, so it will be entirely up to you, how much you will suffer. Please, he begs, terrified for his life. I just give him a smile that will haunt him for the rest of his miserable afterlife in hell. Skadosh. ####. Why for day 150. Hearing Eric from FT. I had an idea, well, I knew it but I didn't think of it until now. This is why I rewatch all the stuff I have in my entertainment folder containing all the manga, anime, TV shows and movies from my past life. So if I'm ever in a place where I can't use my eyes, that would limit me a lot since I can't use my advanced eyesight to predict their movements. So when I was watching Fairy Tail again, I saw Eric, or better known by his alias Cobra. He used sound to hear the muscle contraction in a person's body to predict their movements. This will further improve my safety and increase my efficiency in battle. So that's how I started with this project. Now making a human ear capable of actually hearing muscles moving is impossible. No matter how much I change or improve it, it cannot be done by a human. But then it hit me, what if I completely change my ear to something not human, a bat for example? I can code the cells in my body to change complete into something else, something more useful. Let's say I get a bat's DNA, I only extract the strand that focuses on his ears, I can use it as a base to change my own DNA to match it. People with mutation quirks are mostly half human, half animal. If so, why could I just copy their DNA as well? Can I actually copy the quirk factor in their DNA? That's when my mind was completely blown away. My quirk potential just skyrocketed. This will require a lot of testing. ####. Back to the party. I have barely slept in the past 4 days. The easiest DNA I could find was from fish and meat products. Now I have been trying to run simulations on turning myself into a fish man, or at least making a pair of working gills. But that hasn't been going so well. My current OS is incapable of doing the necessary calculations to make it work. That means it's time for an upgrade. Supercomputer software, here I come. Chapter 29, Supercomputer. After careful consideration, I decided that a pair of gills might not be the best first try for this. It would be better to start with something closer to my DNA. I would prefer a monkey, since humans and monkeys share many similar traits. Why should stop writing when I'm drunk. Sea mammals like whales, seals, and walruses don't have gills, they have lungs, and why the fuck did I out in whale, shark and stingrays? So I decided that the first DNA test would come from man's best friend, a dog. And luckily I just happen to have a German Shepherd in my house, who won't come within 7 meters of where I am standing. I traumatized that dog for life, I just threatened him for some blood. Vets do it all the time. Don't they? Did a lot of tests, it would take 1 year just to make a simple pair of dog ears. This isn't going to work the way it is now. The amount of simulations I need to do so I can consciously make my cells change is insane, and there is no way I can do it with my current software. I avoided going anywhere near supercomputers because I wasn't sure if my body could take it if my mind suddenly updated. I mean, there is a big difference between a laptop software and a supercomputer. For all I know, my brain could fry from the overload. So before I can even think about animal transformation and possible quirk copying, I need to upgrade my OS, the main part of my quirk. Now the point is, that there are many types of supercomputers developed, each with a specific purpose. I need one specified for simulation. I will make a virtual body double and experiment on him, the OS will make all the simulations. Now my current OS takes stamina and mental focus as fuel to do hard calculations. The supercomputer will probably drain me even more. So I will have to use CMakikin/life return 24/7. The calories that this will use up will be insane. Most of my time will be spent eating. That needs to be fixed too. Maybe one of those protein bars designed for heroes. There are quirks like fat gums, I won't be able to explain why I need them, and they are very closely monitored. Any quirk that requires that much calories/energy is most likely a dangerous one, in many different ways. Looks like I'll be making my villain debut earlier than my hero one, and I'm doing it for protein bars. Ugh, the things I do for my plans. Now how do I get near a supercomputer specializing in simulations? Space companies are guaranteed to have them, but I'm not going to be able to get anywhere near them. So I have to look for other options. Now, to the deep web. I have taken every precaution I can for this. If I screw up here, everything will be lost. This is a second-hand laptop, that I bought for an extremely cheap price with the prize money I get. I'm in an intertext cafe, plus I'm protecting my location on the off chance they find me. And on the way here I avoided every camera that I could. Of course it would be in Tokyo, the biggest city in Japan, and filled to the brim with heroes and private security. Tokyo has a lot of businesses, so it must be protected 24/7 since they are targeted a lot and companies don't shy away from spending money on security systems, so those are top of the line. This just keeps getting better and better. And it turned out that the company that has the supercomputer does freelance in a way. Anyone that pays them can use the supercomputers. Their clients are usually space companies who want to double-check their findings. So good news. Since the only thing of value that they have is the supercomputer, it's decently protected but nothing like the rest. They don't have any top-secret projects, so there is no need for the extra protection. They are literally just rent a Super C, that is all the company offers. Bad news, the SC itself is located in the basement in an ice-cold room, surrounded with walls made of 2 inches of pure industrial steel alloy and concrete, and all kinds of alarms inside and on the steel door. The only ones that can get in are the IT guys that maintain it, and the code for the door changes weekly. Now I can probably get through the door thanks to my Quirk, but if it doesn't work, I'm stuck there with alarms blasting off. First of all I need some equipment. Night vision, ropes, knives, smoke grenades, real grenades, everything an up-and-coming thief needs. May whatever god exists in this world, beside the Morgan Freeman-looking bastard who just yeeted me here, bless the black market. Asterisk okay, so I can fit into vents, if they are the cliché big type of vents. And judging by the blueprints from the building I got from the dark web, they are. I get that bigger vents allow for more air current to be moved, but villains have been really active in the last 100 years, you would think people would have made their buildings more safe in this time, but nope. They just blindly believe that heroes will come and save them when that happens, and their insurance will cover the damage. Pathetic. That's why most of them die when All for One takes over Shigaraki and chaos spreads across Japan. Not that I'll sew anything to stop it. I just need to gather a lot of money for that exact moment, and when people panic and try to leave the country, I'll buy their land at dirt cheap prices. Money problem will be solved from that point forward, and politics will have to wait. I still don't have a good grasp on it. But I have all the time in the world to learn it. Now back to making the preparations. My first debut as a thief/villain has to be perfect. Word count 1040. Asterisk A/N size, Young Justice, Robin age 13. 56 kilograms. 154 tall. Average kids 12 to under 13 years 156 centimeters 47.1 kilograms 13 to under 14 years 162 centimeters 52.4 kilograms, MC size equals 158 centimeters 60 kilograms. He is a lot heavier than kids his age, but he has been coating his body since he was 4 to be as perfect as possible. The amount of food he takes in is insane and all of that turns into pure muscle. Chapter 30, Villain Debut. Why for day 158. The gear took some time to arrive, but I'm ready as I ever will be. I will be scouting the building for a few days. Ha 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 ha, yeah right. That's why I have my spy flies. I didn't spend all that money making them, so they just gather dust. While I was waiting for my gear to arrive at the designated drop point, they already scouted the place, not thoroughly since if they are caught somehow it would reveal that someone is planning on breaking in. So here I am now. Decked out in a grayish-black outfit, completely covered from head to toe. Amateurs just go pure black. Idiots, they stick out like a sore thumb when next to a building, they might as well be wearing white. You need to wear dull colors combined with gray, it makes blending in the buildings much easier. I used parkour to get over the buildings and arrive to the place I decided I will be entering from. Now I send some flies in to check which side doesn't have cameras. There is a blind spot on the 6th floor, in the farthest left window. And since they are a tech company, they have windows that are opened by, you guessed it, by code. I actually laughed out loud like a madman when the spy flies discovered that yesterday. I arrived through the roof of the building. Since there are quite a lot of buildings next to it with similar height, wasn't that difficult. Of course the roof had sensors, but I never actually stepped on the roof. I garbed the edge as I jumped off from the building next to it. I put the grappling hook on the edge and lowered myself to the 7th floor. And by lowering myself I mean barely hold onto the rope, so I free fall to the 9th floor before stopping myself on the 7th. This way, even if the cameras on the upper floor see something, it will be blurry. At the 7th floor I slowly use my quirk on right at the middle part where the window and the wall meet. That's where the mechanism for the windows is. I take a while to overwrite the code, so instead of opening a little to let air in, it opens 90 degrees, which makes the window go from a vertical position to a horizontal one. That's more than enough room for me to enter. As soon as I go in, I close back the window. If I haven't been already spotted by the people in the next buildings, leaving a single window open like that is like I'm announcing that this place is getting robbed, in a way. I make my way down the basement. The security system is quite decent actually. Each floor is independent from the next. So you can't just shut down the whole thing all at once. So I had to stop, and make a loop for the cameras and overwrite the system for each floor. I'm honestly impressed, and this is the security for a mid-low company. I arrive at the basement after almost an hour of slowly making my way down. I arrive in front the vault. It's just a wall with a big metal door in the middle. But behind the concrete is 2 inches of pure industrial steel alloy. I'm not going through that no matter what I do. So hacking the door is my only choice. I put my hand on the wall, and find the cables that run to the lasers. I just turn it off, but make the system think that it's still on. The lasers failing at night is a big warning sign. I can't be sure if someone is watching this from some other location. Now it's finally time for the vault. I put my hand on it, and holy shit. The info I got was fake, or they didn't even know it was fake in the first place. Forget about blasting through the door. This thing is thicker than the walls, and the code that they use is really advanced. I might not be able to open this. Fuck it, fortune favors the bold. I'll give it a shot, and if it doesn't work and triggers the alarms, I'm smashing through the windows, and running away with the advance. I start looking at the code to see what is the best place to start. This will be hard, but I have been needing a challenge to take my coding to the next level. Okay, good news and bad news. No wonder I never seen this. This is a one-of-a-kind code, which means that someone, probably the CEO, made this code, and is currently testing it if it works before making the code and the door design available to anyone that wants to buy it. Good news is that if he is testing it, it means there might be some bugs that I can still exploit. Bad news is this was made by a team of highly trained programmers. I can tell by the way the code is structured. Each programmer has his own style of writing, like a digital signature. I'm the one that made this. Just like artists leave their signature on their art, so do these programmers, and to be honest, this code is a piece of art. 30 minutes of just searching, that's how long it took to find one bug, and that's with using my quirk completely focused on the search. This thing must be in the final stages of the testing. Using the bug that I found, I started overwriting the code slowly and started putting malware in it. Bit by bit, I made a pathway to the part that operates the opening of the door. It took an hour to do this. I'm mentally exhausted. Using my quirk for an hour is nothing, but using it for a high-level task like this is insanely difficult. Whatever, open fucking sesame. Click. The pins that hold the door to the wall unlock. I can feel a grin forming on my face. I'm quite proud of myself for doing this. Crank. The massive door opens and I'm immediately greeted by a strong chill. Fuck, that's cold. They are cooling the room 24/7 so the supercomputer doesn't overheat. Let's get down to business. I go to the ports and hook up my gear to it, then hook up a few large terabytes of storage. It would be suicidal to try and copy it to my mind. Passing out is a definite possibility, so I'm not touching this until I find a safe place to do it. It took 10 minutes to completely copy the software. I put my gear back and leave a calling card on the face of the supercomputer. I close the door and do the same here, but with a note attached. The note read: Ladies and gentlemen, on this beautiful night, I visited your company to test my skills. Inside the frozen vault, you will find my calling card. Till next time. The Magician Under the Moonlight. Kaido Kid. Chapter 31, Kaido Kid. Filler chap, I haven't showed any interactions with his older classmates, so I thought this would be a good change of pace. Read the A/N. ####. Y for day 163. I can't believe the CEO actually called the police. Is he an idiot? What did he think he was going to accomplish with that? Even if the police or heroes caught me, his reputation already took a hit, by me breaking into his vault. I would have released the news anyway with photos, but I didn't expect him to do it. It's just dumb. He could have done it if he assumed that I would do it, if so it's better if he releases the news instead of hiding it. But judging by the interview he gave, it seems like he wanted everyone to know about me, so the police and heroes join forces to bring me to justice. I face-palmed while watching that. So for the next few days, Kaido Kid was all over the news and everyone was talking about him. How cocky! I bet he will be caught soon by All Might Mob 1. No, it will be Endeavor that catches him, Mob 2. No, it will be Mob 3. It's all they say, over and over again. Don't these people have better things to do? Hey Shin, have you seen the news? Asked my schoolmate who has the seat in front of me. Since I skipped so many grades I might be their height, but I'm still younger than the rest of my class, so I am generally avoided. They did try to keep up the fake smile and personalities with me from the start to talk to the fighting kid, but I just returned fake with I don't give a shit, go away. Teens are generally moody, and gossip a lot, and are very offended if you don't give them enough attention. And coincidentally the only one that actually talks to me is the transfer student from America who moved to Japan. His Japanese is not that good, so we mainly converse in English, which is fine with me. If you don't use a language for a long time, you forget how to speak properly. Asterisk. Yes, I have seen the news, Marcus, how could I not, when it's all over the news, and it's the only thing people have been talking about for the last few days. I sigh out. And talk in English. Well, isn't it rare for someone to do this? I mean an actual capable criminal, instead of those idiots that play villain and rob banks in broad daylight. The company isn't even sure what he took from the supercomputer. Marcus shakes his head. I scoff at that. Since when do real thieves exist in this era? The last real thief was Lupin from the 21st century, a full 200 years ago, before the age of the Quirks. Anything after that is just pathetic. You are right, there have been big criminals during the last 200 years, like Japan's All for One, or Britain's Hippo the Fowl, even the Joker from my country. After Quirks started showing up, people like them just spread chaos everywhere. But real thieves? There haven't been any of those in quite a while. Due to Quirks, people prefer smash and grab, instead of the silent, unnoticed way. Honestly, I might start to do this thieving thing more often. I wonder just how much I can embarrass this country before they actually start to take me seriously. What are you two nerds talking about? Hisashi yells. He is the jock of the class, a heavy hitter in the school's baseball team. None of your business, Hisashi-san. He says it in broken Japanese, with an American accent. Hisashi, the last time you tried to mess with me, I sent you to the nurse's office with a burst on your stomach. How do you feel if I just dislocate your entire arm this time? So unless you want to start playing baseball with one hand, I suggest you walk away. I give him a reminder of what happened last time. TCH. He clicks his tongue and leaves, unlike the people who actually listen to him, the type that he is used to. I don't take bullshit from anybody. The last guy who tried anything with me found himself beaten up in an alley. He wanted to make a scene in class, but I wasn't dumb enough to fall for that, so on the way home, he was mysteriously attacked. Naturally, people assumed it was me, but I had a solid alibi made. I was siding in the part, where a camera had a clear shot at me. So my school now thinks I have a gang that does my dirty work. I was never in that park for more than 5 minutes, I just looped the image of the camera of me meditating and made it so I left 2 hours later instead of 5 minutes. Wow, you are one scary guy, Shin. Marcus jokes. You are not fooling anybody with those baggy clothes, Marcus, and watching the same high school rugby team on your phone in school is really obvious. As a former rugby player, I'm sure you are used to fights and people like Hisashi. Wow, I didn't know I had a fan. Are you a stalker now, Shin? He grins at me, I just stare him down before he starts sweating. Fine, fine, I was a rugby player, happy. Man, you just can't take a joke. How did you even know? I raise my eyebrow. I fight people for a living. Do you think that I wouldn't notice when someone is obviously well trained, and maintains good shape? He laughed sheepishly. Right, forgot about that. He rubbed his head. Of course you did. But you need to work on your Japanese if you want to continue to live here. I know it isn't the easiest language to learn, but watch movies, TV shows, and anime. It will help you out a lot. Same with songs and books like light novels. He nods his head. I am doing that, and it is helping, but I won't be getting better all of a sudden. Of course. But if you want to enter a good high school, then you really need to work on it. He sighs. I know. The door slams open, and an old woman, with glasses and a stony expression, enters. Class is in session. I don't want any talking or distractions. Anyone who does gets detention. Are we clear? She calls out in a cold, commanding tone. Yes, Takabana-sensei, the whole class says with a dead voice, including me. This particular teacher makes me want to strangle her. She enjoys making students feel miserable. Good. Class is in session. Word count 1080. A/N. Asterisk, true fucking story. While I was learning English and going to contests and things like that, I was fluent. I have had C1 English for about 4 to 5 years, and haven't spoken English to someone in a while. I lost the fluent speaking I used to have. Hashtag. Okay, for those that don't know, the reason I don't write as often is because of work. I started a new job a month ago. I leave home at 5 a.m. and arrive at 4 to 5 p.m. basically, usually exhausted. Besides that, I do a mini job at night 2 a.m. mostly, which fucks up my sleep cycle. On average I sleep 3 to 4 hours a day on Friday. So the only time I really have to write is weekdays. But good news is I quit the mini job. It's cold and I needed more sleep. So with that out of the way, I can now have a decent amount of sleep with more time to write as I get home from work. So we can expect more chapters to be written. Discord GG/6YYVM6TJ6T. Join my Discord for more updates on what's happening or just to have fun and discuss things. I haven't been spending as much time on there as I would like, but that's gonna change. So hop on there and help liven up the deadish server. I do hope to release more chapters during the week. So look forward to that, I guess. I will try my best. Chapter 32, Updating OS. Hop on Discord if you want to discuss various things, or any questions about the plot you are interested in. Discord.gg/6YYVM6TJ6T. And there are 6 chapters ahead on Patreon for this FIC. 3ch for Tier 1, and 6ch for Tier 2. Patreon.com/alcoholic_panda. Someone mentioned it to me to put in messages like this so more people actually visit my pages. And any opinions for the Discord are appreciated. I'll start fixing that place up soon. Hashtag. Y for day 166. Friday, finally. I can finish my middle school education completely, but is it worth to show that kind of intellect? As of now, I'm just an intelligent student who is beloved by the teachers, the students not so much. But their opinions of me are irrelevant. When somebody asks how I was in school, they usually ask the teachers. Kids are jealous and biased, so the news avoids them. It would be better if I tried to keep a better impression, but I honestly can't be bothered, they won't be of any use to me, so there is no reason for me to even try. Anyway, I can finally start the update. I postponed it until the weekend started, I have no idea what's going to happen. So to get my parents out of the house, I used the money I took from those goons to book them a 2-day stay at a spa hotel. They think I won it off a prize. So here I am Friday afternoon all alone. Well, except for the stupid dog that's hiding under the sofa. Insert courage the cowardly dog meme. Now what I'm about to do is definitely insane, and just might kill me. So for the past few days, I have been writing a code that can store my consciousness in the laptop should I fail in this update. I also put a fail-safe, should the update fail, the code I made will reboot, and bring it back to my current OS. My body is also coded to continue working. Heart beating, lungs breathing, things like that, so even if I die in the body, I can transfer my consciousness from the laptop to my empty body. But to do that I'm going to need some serious preparations. I haven't worked out at all the last few days, I have been eating as much as I can, and using Life Return to store it. That has been going on for the last few days. So I the energy for the update and in case something goes wrong. Today is the last day, I will eat as much as I can. I also need to make a backup of my personality and memories, just in case I fry myself. I have been making a code to use up all the remaining energy in my body to heal my brain at all costs should something happen to it. So that ensures that both my mind and my body have backup plans. As for my soul, well, I have nothing on that front. But there is no other choice. If I don't do this, I will be forever average, at most I can reach human perfection, but against someone in the top 5 I will be helpless, since there is a limit to how much my body can get stronger. I could probably beat Mirako the sexy bunny girl, but anyone above her, I would stand no chance. For my future plans, this act will all but ensure it, the potential I could achieve would be limitless. There is no time to waver. With a cool mind and strong will, I will advance, and I will succeed. ####. As I'm laying on my bed, I'm looking at the poster my father gave me. Fortes fortuna adiuvat. Fortune favors the bold. Huh. If I come out of this alive, I'm getting that tattooed on my back. I take a deep breath. And put my hands on the terabyte EHD. Beginning update. Blue lines appear from my shoulder and slowly run to my hand, then on the terabyte. A few seconds later and I black out. ####. When I came to, I find myself in a world of code. Wow, it's like the Matrix. I'm guessing this is either my mind or the core or my quirk. I turn my head above and I see a massive influx of code. I don't know how to make the falling text rain or glitch text effect that other writers can, if you know tell me. That must be the supercomputer software. The SC code collided with my own. Fuck K. Instant headache. I can feel my head splitting apart. Stop. The SC code started to slow down. I can manipulate it? Well, that changes things. I used all the processing powers for have. And started where the code collided. I took the SC code and started putting it in its proper place, exchanging it with my old one. I could literally feel the change happen. It wasn't anything like I can feel the PAA, but more like changing a part of you, like before and after surgery, you just know something is different. I started taking strands of code line, and started replacing it with the old. I made sure not to go anywhere near my personality or my memories. The process was slow. The code from above hasn't shrunk at all. This seemed like it would take forever. But I persevered. This is still a lot better than my expectations. I assumed that it will be like last time, when my quirk awakened. I just black out and hopefully I would be alive when I wake up. But now I can control the whole process, lowering the chance of any damage drastically. The code from the SC was still falling down on my world. If it hits my world I feel extreme pain. To think me having brain damage or not depends on how good I am at Tetris. I put more focus on the code that controls the processing power. It was located in the middle and the back of the falling code. I did get a few extreme headaches by the front of the code hitting my world. But it was worth it. By changing the processing part first, I was able to think faster, increasing the speed at which I work. I just kept doing that through the whole process. I improved a few key areas that helped me finish faster. Nobody said I had to use just the code at the front. Loopholes for the win. Word count 1020. A/N. Terabyte external hard drive. Chapter 33, Waking Up. Woof. Ugh, shut up. Woof woof. I swear I'll gut that dog. Wait, I can feel my body. I'm starting wake up. I opened my eyes, to see the ceiling of my room. Woof. I turn my head to see the dog, standing outside the door. Sigh. What date is it? I slowly turn my head and look at the calendar. I see that 60 hours have passed. That's 2.5 days. My parents should be coming home soon. I try to stand up but my body doesn't listen. Fuck, I'm feeling so lethargic, my energy levels are 0. Everything that I stored up has been used. No. It's not 0, it actually went into minus. My body started the autophagy process. My body started feeding on itself for more energy. Fuck, this is bad. I need to stand up and get something to eat. I have no time to waste. Autophagy can leave long-lasting effects on the body if it isn't treated right. I'm literally starving to death right now. Woof. You had better have a good reason for still being here. I glare at the dog. He lays down on the floor, covers his eyes and whimpers. Ugh, I don't have time for this, I'll deal with the dog later. I push myself off the bed, and fall on the floor. This is hard, my muscles are screaming in pain. I forcefully move them as I drag myself down to the hallway. My room is on the 2nd floor, so I have to take the stairs to get down to the kitchen. Sigh. Why do I not keep food in my room? Getting down the stairs was a pain in the ass. I fell and hit myself multiple times. But I'm finally in the kitchen. I don't have the strength to stand up, so I make do with the stuff in the lower cupboards. First thing I grab are those kitty juice boxes. I drink them all super fast and use life return to increase my metabolism. I instantly felt better. Then I use all the strength I have gained to pull myself up so I can lean on the counter and open the fridge. I have never been so happy to see a fully stacked fridge. I start from the easiest food first. I grab some tomatoes and eat them like apples. Then the sliced stuff, pepperoni, salami, cheese. The more I ate, the faster life return worked, and with my increased metabolism I quickly started regaining strength. Soon I could stand normal. I ate a lot but it's still not enough. I found the cup ramen and poured hot water in all of them. While I was waiting for that I opened the freezer and started pulling shit out and throwing it in the oven. Frozen potatoes, chicken, burgers. It didn't matter. I put everything in and it started cooking. I took pasta out and started making that too. After I ate almost everything in the house I sat down and started to think. The update was successful, my base thought process is already better than when I was boosting it with the old OS. I really want to try out my new capabilities but I'm not risking it. My body needs to heal from the autophagy and my mind is drained. Even if I was knocked out for almost 3 days, I didn't really rest at all. So for now I will recuperate before I start experimenting. Oh yeah, I need to call my parents and tell them to get a lot more groceries. ####. Writing this part on the bus to work. I can't believe you ate everything in the house, called for loads of takeout, and even called us to triple our usually big bout of shopping. Is everything alright, Shinichi father? Yes, everything is fine. For some reason I'm eating a lot more than usual. Maybe it's because of my increased growth. Shinichi answers him, completely ignoring the humming noise on his right that is currently poking him in the cheek with her finger. Hum. Honey. Why are you bothering our son? Let the boy eat in peace. He tried saying it as peacefully as possible. That didn't work out. Chisaki immediately puffed up her cheeks, but Shinchan is so cute stuffing himself like this. Even when he was little he was always patient with his food, never making a fuss. Look how cute he is like a squirrel. Squirrel. Right. Inwardly thinking he looks more like a bear to me. He is eating with such ferocity, maybe he should enter an eating contest, it would save money on groceries. Never mind about me, how was your trip? Shinichi tries to change the subject. It was great. We went to a sauna, and then to a massage, then a face mask treatment. It was so much fun. Shinichi looks to his father, who had a downcast, tired expression, and thinks to himself, I pity the fool, he probably didn't get any rest at all. Okay, next time it's mom and Airy Star. He deserves some alone time from mother after this trip. Son of a bitch, the stuff I wrote was deleted cause I didn't save. I finished this chap, went on YouTube to find some music, came back, and the page reloaded, so I lost all that I wrote. Shinichi, could it be that your quirk is evolving? Dad asks in a worried tone. Shinichi stills at his father's question, but goes back to eating a second later, acting completely normal. Why do you say that? He asks while finishing off his pizza. Well, one of my co-workers had an evolution, or an awakening as it is called. He also has a programming quirk, but he got a really difficult task on which his whole career depended on. He started smoking and drinking to keep up with the stress. When he was on the edge of losing it, his quirk evolved, allowing him to keep his job. Really? Shinichi asks skeptically. I understand that it sounds made up, but studies have shown that quirks evolve under extreme emotional or physical stress. You are still very young, but that colleague didn't have any other choice. He was buried in debt and that was his last chance. Ironically, he still got fired a month later, because he got cocky. His quirk did improve, but not to the point where he can just laze around. Anyway, back on the matter at hand. You aren't experiencing any kind of stress, are you? Is school difficult? Should you go back a year? Shin-chan. Are you bullied? Tell mama and she will go to the principal to complain right away. Shinichi stared at them with a disbelieving expression before he started laughing. I'm fine. I'm not getting bullied, nor am I under any kind of stress. School is easy actually, but I won't skip any grades. I'm focused on a different project which takes up most of my time, so already knowing what they will teach clears up a lot of my schedule. They both sigh out of relief that he isn't bullied or under stress. As for my quirk, who knows? He shrugged my shoulders. I'm eating a lot more than usual, and I'm growing pretty fast, but that can be to a family mutation, so we can only wait and see. Well, now that that's over with, how about you keep on eating while I take a few pictures of my cure? Shin-chan eating. Chisaki claps her hands together. Sigh. Two long sighs were heard before they looked at each other and smiled wryly. Word count 1180. A/N. Asterisk Airy, Rand's mother the lawyer. Chapter 34, Testing out the new software. I planned to put out chaps yesterday and today, but things just don't go according to plan. Saturday I was working from 9 a.m.-3 p.m., then I went to a birthday party, 6-10 came home, tried to write something, but I was just too tired. Today I have been having quests since I woke up at 12. They left like an hour and a half ago at 7 p.m. I will see what I can write in 3 hours, then I go to sleep. I wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work. ####, no time to check what day it is, I'll do it some other time. Why 4 day? A few days passed, since I woke up. I just been relaxing and eating, and using Life Return to speed up the healing process, of course. Now I'm close to being 70% back. So I can test out the new OS. Freaking finally, I was so tempted to do it every day, but thoughts like that lead to mistakes that get you killed, so I stayed put until now. There are passive and active modes. But that means that I just haven't activated my quirk. I do get passive buffs in a way. Since I am basically a living computer, I do get some of the basic abilities a PC is supposed to have. I will make a proper skill list of all the abilities, martial arts, that he can do. The basic things I could do were perfect memory and the ability to reorganize them into files. Make knots in my head. Take photos and videos, that I scanned later on for copying martial arts. Faster thought process. Limited technomancy. The active state of my old OS, doubled the processing speed in exchange for stamina and mental energy. Now with the new OS, I have double capabilities as my old one when it was active. So quadrupled my processing speed. In its passive state. Though to be fair this is expected, I have been using the software from a laptop, and now I'm using a supercomputer's software. If anything the boost should be more, but I'm very happy with what I got. Now activate OS. Whoa. My entire world changed, everything has slowed down. Holy shit. This is so freaking busted. How much slower am I perceiving? Double. Triple. Forget about blocking, I don't think I can be hit by anything that doesn't go faster than Mach 4, for reference the average bullet speed is Mach 2 at 2500, 2700. I can just dodge bullets now. Any bullet for that matter. There is no way I actually lose to anyone that can't go faster than Mach 4. That leaves very few people actually capable of standing up against me. I might not be able to do any real damage, but a poison dagger will do the job nicely. This combined with Divine Demon is just overkill. Now what do I call this? I'm too lazy to think of anything worthwhile, but let's just keep it simple and call it the zone. I turn the zone off. I can't actually sustain it, it drains both my stamina and my mental capabilities way too quickly. So when it's used, the fight has to end quickly, but I don't think this will be a problem. Who the hell needs a Sherry Non when I got this? It will be even better once I upgrade my eyes, if the animal thing works. Plus this thing excels in simulations, which means I can run multiple simulations based on the data I gather from my opponents. Sasaki Kojiro anyone? Prediction. Now let's test the dog DNA. How much time would it take? With the old software it was going to take a year for a 100% risk-free transformation. I could do it right away, but the result is uncertain and has a big chance of going wrong. With this software it will take 3 days to a week for the simulation to be completed. Damn, that's fast. Getting a Super C software that excels in simulation was so worth it. Now let's try something else. I grab some of the raw beef we have vacuumed, it still has a little bit of blood there. I taste a little bit, disgusting, but it does the job. DNA acquired. Recognizing cow DNA. I also got some software for DNA testing. I already have the database in my head, so I don't have to manually name it every time I get a new one. Wrote some code for an interface so it's easier for me to do what I want. Now I want to be a Minotaur. Let's see how long till the simulation is over. Running calculations. For a 100% risk-free transformation, 1 full month of simulation required. That is fair. What if I use the quirk in its active state? Spending energy/stamina to speed up the multiple simulations will lower it to 3 weeks. I knew it, I don't have the necessary stamina to keep it going for a longer periods of time. Even if I activate my quirk, it will drain me so fast, that I won't be able to do anything else. Better to leave it passively, I will still get tired, but it's manageable. The energy I have stored up in my cells from eating will offset that. Now for the quirk test, I could get some DNA from my parents, but testing it out on a quirk not related to me will be the best. Let's go and poke a random person. The base of my transformation is make-icon/life return. I precisely manipulate my cells to do what I want. So making my nail super sharp is a pretty easy thing to do once you know the science behind it. Thank you Weeb Lifestyle, I have an endless supply of ideas which I can use to help me in this life. Bam, 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 there was loud banging on the door. If it's not the pizza guy, whoever it is, they are dead. Get out here, coward. I trained a lot to prove that I'm better than you. After I defeat you I will be number 1 in the city. Bakugo. Is this what they meant? Ask and you shall receive. I wanted some DNA from a person with a strong quirk, and one shows up on my door. I can't stop myself from smiling, the creepy I will kill you smile. Time to deal with the neighborhood terrorist. Word count 1008. A/N is a year too much. If a laptop were to try to make a full cellular simulation of an human ear turning into a dog's, without any risk, how long do you think it would take? I think a year sounds fair for a laptop. Chapter 35, Code 35 DNA Collector. I hate Christmas, the workload tripled this week, I just come home and fall asleep after I had dinner. I was starting to have withdrawal symptoms from not being able to write XD. For those that want to read advanced chapters. MHA code, there are 3 for Tier 1 and 6 for Tier 2. Marvel Meditation System 5 for Tier 1 and 10 for Tier 2. MS is a pain in the ass, so I think only Tier 1 is ready. I will try to hurry up and write during these 3 days. That will hopefully stay free. Please let me write in peace. Folded hands, folded hands, folded hands. Zeus, you shape-shifting rapist. I will even stoop so low to give you a prayer. Just let my weekend go without any bullshit, so I can write in peace. Patreon.com/alcoholic_panda, remove the extra spaces. Disco RDGG/6YYVM6TJ6T, remove the extra spaces. ####. After beating the shit out of Boom Boom Boy, I left him covered with bruises and cuts. I got the blood that I needed from him. Instead of drinking it, I directly absorbed it through my skin. I can't believe I didn't think of that before, it just popped into my head as we were fighting. Anyway, here we are. Human DNA detected. Designation. I write in #01 Katsuki Bakugo. I might fool around sometimes, but I never mess around when my research. Subject Katsuki Bakugo, designation #01. Well, at least he is number 1 at something. Running simulation with the DNA acquired. Quirk factor found. Test failed. Creating new blood samples. Estimated time until completion. 6 months. Speed can be increased if new #01 samples are acquired. Interesting, this works in a totally different way than the animal DNA. With the animals, I just have to acquire the DNA and it will continue to run simulations until completion. But with human DNA, it uses it to test if will work, the sample gets destroyed if it fails, and it uses my stamina to create a new sample from previous schematics. Which means it constantly creates and destroys DNA to find a way for me to use their quirk. And when it succeeds, I have to start from the beginning with that quirk. So when I get Bakugo's quirk, I will only be able to make firecrackers, until I train it enough to a useful level. So technically I am growing the quirks in a way. The process is kinda simple, I guess. Take DNA, tests with creating and destroying DNA, once the tests are done and I have 0 chance of fucking up, I integrate the newly created quirk. From there I just basically nurture the quirk, until it grows strong enough to be useful. Now that we have established that I am a genuine god, my plans will have to change big time. At first I assumed that I will have a programming quirk, hence the need to gather blackmail material and get into politics. But now that I know, I can turn into any animal or half animal and can grow quirks, the plans I made are useless. I have a very good shot of becoming the strongest being on this planet. My potential is literally limitless. Assuming I survive long enough. Right now the most important thing is for me to focus on increasing my strength. As long as I'm strong enough, there is not a lot of things I can't get or achieve. I will still gather blackmail material, but it won't be the main focus. Right now, animal DNA are the easiest to acquire and it can be explained as an awakening. I will just say that I can manipulate my genetic code to change into animals. The quirk part is going to remain a secret. So plans for now. Raid every zoo and exotic animal collector in my city and those that are near it. Take a drop of blood from people walking down the street. Disuse as a punk wearing a spiked biker jacket. The initial poke will hurt them a bit, but no one wants to deal with delinquents, or as they are better known in Japan as Yankees. Even if there are heroes patrolling, they can't stop vandalism from happening. So most people will just carry on and avoid trouble. Figure out a way to get DNA easier. Ideally making small fly robots or real mosquitoes do it for me. Start stacking up on animal and human DNA, the processor will work passively for as long as I breathe. Which literally translates to me making an effort to getting stronger, every single second for the rest of my hopefully long life. Mental note, looking into immortality or anti-aging quirks. Now the testing of quirks can be sped up depending on how much DNA/blood I consume from a person. So what if I take all of it? I'm not afraid to commit cannibalism if it makes me stronger. Ideally I need a quirk to just drain them of any life, and turn their bodies into a mummy or just dust. This needs to be tested. Which means I need another villain persona. The reason I need more is so less people target me. Kaido Kid is a thief, heroes will still look for him, but someone in the top 10 will just ignore him since he isn't killing anyone. But if Kaido Kid starts killing, he will be on the top of everybody's list. Hence a new persona. I will be tacking both heroes and villains. I think I got the prefect name. Garu. I obviously can't reveal my animal transformation, so that leaves my martial arts, and any quirk I can grow in time for it to be useful. Garu was a hero hunter and killed monsters if they bothered him. In fact, it might be better for Garu to invent the Rokushiki to show the potential of martial arts. Then if the martial artist of the century Kodo Shinichi figured out a way to decipher his techniques, then there is no problem at all. Muhahaha, I'm so freaking smart. I'll transform into a bigger version of myself, change the pigments in my hair to give it a white color, change the structure so it's long and spiky, and boom, Garu is born. Now I can just go and beat the shit out of people, without spending too much effort on hiding myself. Even if I'm seen, they will only know about Garu. I'll be testing a lot of the more deadly martial arts when I'm Garu. The only thing I absolutely need to do is to make sure none of my identities interact. That means all of them will lead different lives, visit different places, and most importantly of all, act different. I think I'll keep the original Kaido Kid persona. But Garu will have to change. He will be the silent serial killer type. The less information they have on him the better, since more people will chase after a killer instead of a thief. This is going to be so much fun. Word count 1040. Chapter 36, Detective Naomasa. Police station. Has anyone any information on this Kaido Kid? A man with black hair wearing a white shirt asks. He can be perfectly described as normal or plain. No, Detective Tsukachi. The security cameras don't have any images of him, and the same with the street cameras. There were no eyewitnesses either. A person with a cat head answers him. Sigh, someone broke into a facility with a very good security system and seemingly took nothing. Of course nobody actually believes that, it just means he is a good hacker as well to completely cover his traces like this. This is something that we rarely see these days. An actual pro, says Naomasa Tsukachi while rubbing his face. The higher-ups started putting pressure on as soon as they heard how good he is. They want him caught before he can do any more damage, he says with a tired voice. Sir, why are we dealing with this? I mean, there is just one crime so far, and there isn't any information to even begin an investigation. Shouldn't this go to the white-collar division? Another police officer questions. It's because they don't like me. My Quirk lie detector makes me a very good at my job. But that makes threat to some of the higher-ups and their associates. MHA spits out the last part in disgust. Slam. The door slammed open and a police officer with a heavy breath rushes in. Huff. Huff. Sir. Calm down, kid, take a deep breath and start your report, Detective Nakamura says calmly. The police officer took a deep breath. Kaido kid just robbed a jewelry exhibition at the National Museum, the police officer yelled out. What? Everybody in the room yelled out. Hashtag hashtag hashtag. A/N work starts in 15 minutes, so why not write something in the meantime XD? A few days earlier. I need more money. The stuff I saved up from tournaments is mostly used for food, and there is very little left from what I stole. I do want to come out as Garu, but I'm not stupid enough to rush in blindly. I need gear if I'm going to be doing dangerous stunts like that. Kevlar clothes, for example, smoke/flash grenades, even some shrunken for distraction so I can run away. But mostly the material that Mirio Togata uses that works with his quirk. The past few days I have been gathering DNA from animals in and near neighborhood. Cats, dogs, parrots, snakes, spiders, scorpions, there was even a crocodile for my surprise. Who the fuck keeps a crocodile as a pet? But that wasn't the most useful one. I found a chameleon, quite a few actually, but one of them was the chameleon with the best camouflage. That thing must have cost a fortune to import here. And of course I broke in the houses to get their DNA. So chameleon DNA acquired, but that just makes my skin blend in. I need that special fiber to make the rest of my clothes do it as well. And that costs a fortune. I always wondered why Momo doesn't wear that material so she can make clothes over it. I'll mention that later to her parents. Nobody wants to see their kid half naked on TV. Back on track, I need a lot of money to get that stuff on the black market, but here's the catch, they accept everything that is tradable as payment. That means I can pay with gold, gems, jewelry, artwork, drugs, even slaves are accepted. So I decided to quickly rob some stores and museums and buy the damn thing. I still haven't started making my many martial arts, they need actual opponents to be truly tested if it works. If I make them now, I don't think I can stop myself from trying them on someone. Time for Kaido Kid to make a few appearances. Back to the present. In the museum. Crime scene. Do any of you, highly trained officers, detectives, and forensic scientists have something? Detective Naomasa sighs out. I'll take anything, even a piece of dandruff, he says with a little hope in his voice. I'm sorry to say, sir, but other than the note he left there isn't anything else here. Even the note has been cleaned, leaving absolutely no evidence behind. Whoever he is, sir, the guy's a pro. Says one of the younger officers. He tries to hide it, but he is very impressed with our mystery thief. You are not supposed to be impressed from the actions of a criminal. His colleague next to him glares at him. He has a dog quirk and personality that reminds of another red dog of justice. Oh come on, I know you are thinking of the same thing. For there to be thief of this caliber here, in our city, things are about to get a whole lot more exciting. The kid grins as hard as he can. Yeah, keep telling yourself that, kid, says Nakamura and goes back to reread the note. Hello dear police officers. The jewels of this exhibit were looking quite bland put on display like that. So I decided they would look better around a woman's neck. And took them with every intention to flirt with women. Kaido Kid. This is just an idea for the note, nothing is set in stone, opinions. Sigh, where did this guy come from? I mean, what kind of thief leaves a friendly note to the police? He isn't taunting us or insulting us, there are no clues left, he left it just to say hi. Detective Naya rubs the bridge of his nose. Sir, isn't he taunting us with this? No taunts by criminals in general is summarized. I'm smarter/stronger than you, catch me if you can. There was none of that here. Sigh, the higher ups are gonna love this, they will hold this case over my head until I catch this guy. What a pain. Slip slip slip. What? Everybody looked up at the sound. Cards started falling from the ceiling. Detective Naya grabbed one as it was falling down, and read the note. If you are reading this as they are falling down, then that means exactly 1 hour has passed since I was last here. By this time I should have just finished robbing the biggest diamond exchange in the city, 5 kilometers away from here. If you hurry up, you might be able to catch a glimpse of my shadow. I wish you good luck. Kaido Kid. Fuck. I take everything I said about him back, he's a piece of shit. Everybody to the cars, we don't have a single moment to waste. Naya yells out. Yes sir. Everybody was shocked so much by the loud yell that it forcefully woke them up from their dazed state. All of them rushed out the museum and drove away in hopes of catching the thief. Chapter 37, The Chase. A figure dressed in grayish camo gear is carefully taking diamonds out from the cases. That is me, Kaido Kid. Yeah right. Now that the self-introduction is over, I have to finish robbing this place. They did have a solid defense system, but it all relied on the sensors actually noticing something. I would have put some analog stuff like pressure plates on some key positions. People put way too much trust in technology. I get that sensors, lasers, and walls falling down as soon as anything comes near the cases, is a good combo. But are pressure plates that obsolete? Just your standard analog ones, that connect to the lockdown sequence. I guess turning it on and off is a pain, so people don't use them anymore. On to the next case. They do have some nice diamond jewelry, these will sell well on the black market. Click. Opening cases like a pro. They really should not show this stuff on the internet. Copying their hand movements really isn't that hard, and I did test it out before I tried this. Bzzz. My cell phone vibrated, which means 1 hour has passed since I robbed the museum. I'm almost done with this place as well. Now to finish up, and leave a note here as well. And I need to get into my suit. They have lot of different types of diamonds here. Pink, yellow, green, purple, blue. I knew there were different types, but not this many. And it looks like this place isn't as clean as it suggests. There are fake diamonds hidden under the counter, probably to make the switch when wrapping things up. And there are other gems here, when this is a diamond-only store. Whatever, more money for me. I have quite the rep on the black market. I sell information mostly, some of the info my spy flies got was somewhat useless to me. But it's still useful to other criminals. Especially the movement of heroes. I keep a fly stationed at the entrance and exit of every hero agency in the vicinity. So I just sell the information when they arrive or leave, which helps other criminals with their planning. I have a few loyal customers, and have a standing on the black market. So now that I'm expanding to goods, it will be easier for me if I already have a following. And it doesn't matter where, diamonds sell very well because of how easy it is to transport them. Hollywood undead gangsta sexy. Gangsta. Got my diamond earrings. Gangsta. Gonna turn you on. So gangsta. Cause I'm real sexy. And I'm gonna beat it up, if you let me. Gangsta. Diamonds all up on me. Gangsta. Gonna turn you on. So gangsta. I preserve my sexy. And I'm packin' heat, so don't disrespect me. ####. All rights around this building, I want a team on the back and on the top. You get the... Sir, a younger police officer yells and points at the top of the building. A man in an outfit which consists of a white suit jacket on top of a blue shirt with a red tie and white dress slack and with a blue ribbon band. He is carrying a big sack over his shoulder. You are a little late, gentlemen. Well, I'll be taking my leave. I am a very busy person. With that, he jumps off the building and starts running on the rooftops. Get him! Someone yells out and wakes up the stunned police officers. What kind of an idiot dresses in white when he is stealing something? Yeah, this will be a piece of cake. Stop talking and go catch him. The Capitan yells out. Yes, sir. Ha ha ha. Never fear, because Mantis Man is here. A hero with a mantis appearance shows up. Look, it's Mantis Man. Didn't he debut like a month ago? Yeah, but he isn't very popular because of his insectoid appearance. Prepare yourself, villain. With that, he jumps fast enough to actually catch up to Kaido Kid and swings at him with his sharp claws. Kid casually dodges and smiles. How scary, insert Kizaru voice. Stop mocking me. Mantis Man takes a few more fast swipes. He can't hit him. Goo, Mantis Man. Take this, Mantis Fury. He attacks Kid even faster, but at the last swipe he goes for the sack, and cuts it. Yes, he did it. Well, we can't have that, Kid calmly says. What do you mean? As soon as Mantis Man opened his mouth, Kid already threw a ball at fast speeds to his face, which exploded into smoke on contact. Gat. Knockout gas is such a useful thing. Mantis Man started losing consciousness but stubbornly grabbed the sack and jumped off the building. Somebody catch him. The police officers gathered to catch him with a special fabric that is made for catching suicide jumpers. Yes, we got him, the policeman started yelling. Well, cheering is more accurate. A pity, but I will be seeing you gentlemen soon. I bid you good evening, for now, Kaido Kid says with a distorted voice. With one final smirk, he threw a flashbang that blinded everybody, followed by a small smoke screen. When the smoke cleared, Kaido Kid was nowhere to be seen. Spread out and find him, Naomasa yells out. Ha ha ha, see, there is nothing to be afraid of, he is just a common thief. People think too highly of him. You are right, Capitan, he only escaped because of luck. Lucky bastard, will get him next time. Mantis Man did a great job. Detective Naomasa looks at them and frowns. It was too easy, for a thief of his caliber to make a mistake like this. Something doesn't add up. Open the sack. Huh? Right away the officer opens the sack and a distorted voice could be heard. Gentlemen, you just got duped. Better luck next time. Boom, there was a small explosion as red smoke engulfed. Cough, cough. Fuck, tear gas. Cough, cough. Fuck you, bastard. I'll kill you, fucker. The police officers cursed. While a single reporter who was lucky enough to hear the sirens and followed them was filming this from his car, from beginning to end. Hashtag hashtag hashtag. A few minutes later a police officer entered an ally and started taking off his gear. Ha, spread out and catch him was the worst decision you could have done, our MC says as he takes off his helmet. Buying standard fake police gear was so worth it. It offers no protection, but it's light as hell and can be easily hidden. I was wearing it underneath the white suit jacket, I just tore it off and hid it under my police vest. And as soon as he gave the order I just came straight here. I'm wearing some light civilian clothes under the police gear. I do admit it did get a little hot. But the effect was worth it. Well, Phase 4 went well. Spy flies used the smoke and infiltrated their gear and clothes. Now I have eyes and ears in the police. Otherwise, why would I risk coming back? I stashed the loot from the diamond exchange to get it at a later time. Same with the stuff from the museum. What kind of idiot takes such heavy things with him when he is running away? Doesn't matter, I should have the money I need to buy the material I need to make my villain suit. Sigh, I hate calling it that, but that's exactly what it is. Now let's go home. Chapter 38, Updates. Please go to my Discord, and select a role from @MHA, code or @Marvel, MS to get announcements when there are releases. Disco RDGG/6YYVM6TJ6T. Remove the extra spaces. The link should work. If it doesn't, write a comment. And since it's a new month, this is the best time to join my Patreon for chapters in advance. Tier 1 5 milliseconds, 3 code. I plan to make code the same as MS. Tier 2 10 milliseconds, 6 code. There are about 8 other fics in there, with some having 5 chapters, some 3, etc. List of fics at the end of the chapter. Tier 2 will be able to read anything up to ch10. Tier 1 will only read half of what Tier 2 can, so if there are 6 possible chapters, Tier 1 will be able to read 3. Patreon.com/alcoholic_panda, remove the extra spaces. #####. Kaido Kid shows his face. Kaido Kid makes a fool of the police, Kaido or Kaido. Could they make the title any bigger? I know they are trying to sell the story, but come on. Well, I made it to the front page. With my picture in my white suit and Mantis Man laying unconscious and the police crying and coughing because of the tear gas. This picture is pretty embarrassing for them, not gonna lie. That reporter was very lucky to have seen the police driving by with the sirens on, and decided to follow them. As the first person to get a picture of me, he is getting pretty good deals, for the videos and pictures he has. Well, good for him, and for me. Now all the stuff I stole will be traded for the special fabric like the one Mirio has, and the rest will be sold. File, Animal DNA. Dog DNA used to acquire dog's sense of smell and hearing. Chameleon DNA used to acquire the ability to camouflage. Cat DNA, used to acquire the cat's eyesight, flexibility, and hearing. Cats can hear 1 octave higher than dogs. Increased night vision. Data from cat and dog DNA was used to create a hybrid ear, that can hear 2.5 octaves higher than what dogs can. Good, this combined with my code to increase or decrease sound will be very useful. But I need something to enhance my muscles and to get strong fangs and claws. Kin and dog claws won't get me anywhere. But I have the others in queued up for simulation. From a parrot its vocal cords to mimic voices. Snake its venom, thermal vision, flexibility. Scorpion its venom. Spider, the ability to make webs and attach itself to any surface. Crocodile its jaws, muscles, and immune system. A/N crocodiles have one of the strongest immune systems to exist, that thing has stayed the same for 200 million years. Now for human DNA I only got this. Human DNA. #01 Katsuki Bakugo Quirk, explosion progress 0%, estimated time until completion 6 months. I can work on getting quirks later, getting animal DNA should be a priority right now as it is an immediate boost in strength. I only have to wait like a week for the simulation to be ready. Since I have not entered my peak physical condition as a normal human, I cannot even begin to test out the Roku Shiki. The main part about them is they can only be achieved when the muscles move in certain ways or through overwhelming physical force like All Might. I wanted to wait a little bit longer, but this is a good a time as any, I guess. Coding my muscle fibers to tear and compress. And enchanting them with animal DNA. I will be able to quickly achieve the Roku Shiki, at least a basic version of them. Same with the other fantasy martial arts. The supercomputer OS makes things so much more faster and efficient. Honestly, I would have done it until now if I didn't feel that acquiring DNA is more important. I can get the martial arts now, but I will have to do it later on when I transform into a demi-human. Fuck it, let's just open a file called Beast Forms. So if I get the transformations first, then I can do the martial arts all at once. This is honestly just me being lazy. I just don't want to repeat the same thing later on. A/N I don't know if you guys can relate, but even if it's stupid, this is exactly what I would have done. I just dislike doing the same things 2 times. ####. Sue. How do I get DNA from dangerous exotic animals? The obvious answer is to go to the zoo. But apparently, some dumb-ass villain decided to take hostages at the zoo to free the animals, so now it has a constant hero patrol. There is at least one sidekick there stationed at night. Now depending on which quirk he has, I might be able to defeat him. If it's one of Endeavor's minions then I'm out. I don't have a fireproof suit. But there's a very small chance of that happening. For one, these kinds of jobs are left for the police. They just wanted to put a hero there. So it will most likely be some weakling. The spy flies I sent started bugging as they were nearing the zoo. So I will have to go in personally. Unfortunately, I will have to wait a few days for the tranquilizers to arrive at the drop point. No way am I getting in a cage with a lion. First of all, I doubt I can beat it with my current level of strength, not to mention the noise we will be making. Sigh, I really hope it's someone like that loser that was almost killed by Stain. What was his name? Native Man. Yeah, that's right. If it's someone with the same strength I can definitely win. Actually, I can win against almost anybody except those that counter me with AoE type quirks, like the people from Endeavor's agency. It would have been ideal if I didn't have to make the martial arts, but now I have no choice. I will wait for my villain gear to arrive so I can go to the zoo. Which means Garu will be making an appearance. My regular martial arts should work on weaker heroes, but I'm not taking that chance. So I will be recreating Saru, Jeppo, and Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist. The reason why I chose these is to have an escape route. Bang's martial arts is ideal for parrying attacks and counter-attacking. I won't be able to make simulations of the rest with the given time frame. I didn't anticipate that someone would actually be stupid enough to station a hero at a zoo. According to my previous research into these, Saru and Jeppo work on the same principle. Using leg muscles in a certain way to propel yourself. Saru horizontally and Jeppo vertically. So it's just making a lot of simulations to find out exactly how the muscles need to move to make it happen. Rob Lucci could use the Roku Shiki when he was 13. And I have been training my legs since I could practically walk. Even if it's just a few uses, I should be able to pull it off. Now the Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist is a different story. It is similar to Tai Chi and other soft fist martial arts. Users of this martial art can repel the attacks of their opponents, nullify them, or redirect them with twice the power. So basically redirection kata from the Kengan verse. I have the necessary computing power to calculate the force and the perfect way to redirect it. Using the memories I have of Bang and Garu, combined with the ways redirection kata is shown, I can work something out. In 3 days I will be hitting the zoo. I hope I get lucky. Word count 1080. A/N. Did you guys notice the Easter eggs? CH12 I'm going to be a beast. CH16 Noah's Ark pirate version, Animal Noah Ark, every animal. I think there were more, small ones. S/N. Self-note, Mirako was 26, 27, canon start, MC is currently 9, 6 years before canon, Mirako is 20 currently. It Mirko in English, but I like Mirako. ####. The fics are Harry Potter Muggleborn Sorcerer - title is debatable, but it's mafia related. DXD True Gamer, Sara from NGNL. DXD Necromancer System, this one will be very fucked up, I'm not holding anything back with this one. Gore, Genocide Rap $. DXD Magneto, guy with Magneto's powers as a sacred gear, mercenary, deal with Sana to make him a devil. Humans can't really live that long, and he plans to have a very long and relaxed life. He won't be friends with the main cast. MHA, Killua's Revenge, been done before, I think I can do it better. Killua alone in MHA world, wants revenge on his family, cold/killer Killua, prob no love in this one. Op, Blood Peace, my guy vs Marines, Pirates, and World Government. Anti-slavery mentality, kinda good guy, he will kill a lot of those mentioned above, like to the last man. DC, Young Justice Re Superboy. And some other drafts and ideas I have been playing with. Chapter 39, Zoo 1. Today started out in the worst possible way. I woke up at 4:40, left for work at 5:20. Started work at 6. I was there for 10 minutes, before my boss called me and told me there was no work today, and I should head home. Got home at 7:30. So that was a giant waste of time. No money earned today, and ironically today is my birthday, and the day started out great, sarcasm. Sorry for the rant, writing this part at 8 a.m. This was on MS as well. ####. Word count 1000. ####. Day. I forgot. Nighttime 3 a.m. The weather is cloudy and blocks out the moonlight. A perfect night to do some crime. Sneaking in the zoo was a lot easier than expected. There is no sign of the police or the hero. Good, and even if they were, I ate a lot before coming here. I'm currently at my peak performance. My gear arrived in time, to make it less expensive than it already is and to pay homage to Garu, I will be wearing similar clothes to the one he was wearing. The first thing I did was double check the map that I got with the map on the billboard in the zoo. Actually triple check. As for my preparations, well, I did it. I made Jeppo Saru and Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist, though they are not satisfactory. Both Jeppo and Saru drain my stamina way too fast. I can only jump/dash for about 7 times max before I get too tired. It's showtime. I extend my senses to their absolute limit, where I can use them, but the drain is not too high. I start sneaking around and heading to my target. The first spot is the tiger cage. Tranquilizer darts hit 2 in each tiger. These are some of the strongest tranquilizers I could find. I don't have time for the normal ones, those take 10 minutes to work minimum. I pick the lock on the gate of their enclosure. Syringe and similar objects are going to waste a lot of time. I just use cat claws to puncture their skin and absorb some of the blood through my skin. Tiger DNA acquired. Nice. I take the darts that I shot with me and lock the gate again. Start simulations with the tiger DNA. Starting simulation. War tiger mode will be ready in 1 week. Yeah, like I'm stopping here. I get more DNA from the rest of the tigers to speed up the simulation. Calculating. Simulation shortened by half. Ha, it really is great. The more DNA I have, the faster it goes because it can burn through the DNA. If I didn't have DNA, it will have to create it, which will slow down the process. Now on to the lions. This is the big cat sector of the zoo. Lion DNA acquired. Get more DNA and shorten it down. Calculating. Simulation shortened by half. Combine lion and tiger DNA with the schematics I already have from the liger. Combining DNA. Combination successful, liger DNA acquired. Change the tiger DNA with the liger and start running simulations. Liger transformation moved to the front of the queue. The estimated time until completion with current blood supplies is 4.5 days. This basic AI does the job well. It can't learn new things and it will only follow my orders and isn't capable of making any decisions on its own. It's not even an AI because it isn't capable of thinking, it's more like an NPC. Jaguar DNA acquired. Cougar DNA acquired. Leopard DNA acquired. Where did they get these guys from? It's like a freaking savanna in here. They have every type of big cat on the planet. Cheetah DNA acquired. I wonder why they consider cheetahs a big cat when they aren't. To be one of the big cats you need to roar, something which they can't do. They are even worse than regular domestics cats. Instead of roaring, they squeak like birds. Okay, a few more and the big cats are done. ####. Primate zone, aka the monkey house. Now comes the tricky part. One of the most muscular, if not the muscle of the animal kingdom. The gorilla. The cats are one thing, but I'm not sure if my darts can act fast enough, before it makes a lot of noise. Monkeys are going to be a pain. If one starts making noise, the others will follow and they will wake up the whole goddamn zoo. Which means I have to waste a lot of expensive sleeping gas on them. No, I need the gas for the birds. Honestly, it might be better if I just go in and KO them. Whatever, let's start with the ones that make the most noise, the howler monkey. How did they even get these? I first oil the hinges, then unlock the cage. Thanks to the oil it didn't make a sound. I actually don't need a lot of their DNA, knocking out one of them and taking a bit just to put it in the database is enough. I needed a lot from the big cats because they are predators and are immediately useful. Monkeys and baboons. Not so much. One hit to the neck is enough to knock them out, and I just press my sharpened nail in them and absorb the blood through my fingertips, manipulating my cells to allow their blood to flow into me. CMake-life return is probably one of the most useful things I created or recreated. I did it again, lost like 300 words. Kill me, why don't I just press the save button, comma. Now for the most important thing in the primate zone, the gorilla. More specifically, they have the silverback gorilla in here. This is an endangered species. I'm not even gonna try and find out how they got him here. These guys can grow from 1.6 m to 2 m and weigh up to 180 kilograms. They are extremely muscular. I'm going to have to waste some of the expensive sleeping gas for them. Because there is no way I'm going to knock one of these guys out. Carefully open the gate, it doesn't even make a squeak. Expensive is the way to go for these things. Buying third-rate gear will get me caught or killed. The few gorillas that are here are cuddled up. I put my gas mask on and put the sleeping gas down. I press the button and an internal fan starts spreading it in their direction. Word count 1000. If you liked it, drop some stones. Zoo 1/7. Be patient, the fighting starts at Zoo 3, I think. Chapter 40, Zoo 2. Did it? Now there are 10 advanced chapters for this FIC on my Patreon. Notice that people like code more than MS. Can't really blame them, I'm the same. So I didn't think it was fair, so here it is. Tier 1 5 advanced chapters for MS and code. Tier 1 gets you up to 5 advanced for other fix or what's available. Tier 2 10 advanced chapters for MS and code. Tier 2 gets you up to 10 advanced for other fix or what's available. For the other fix, let's say there are 6 to 7 ch available. Tier 1 can only read 3. People have also asked me when I will start releasing the other fix. It will be after MS is finished. Which should be in like 50 to 70 chapters, I think. Then the Patreons will vote on what FIC gets released next. BTW, go on Discord if you want to get announcements when there are releases. discord.gg/6YYVM6TJ6T, remove the extra spaces. And if you want to support me and read ahead, patreon.com/alcoholic_panda, remove the extra spaces. ####. Gorilla DNA acquired. Sweet. Primate zone finished. In all honesty, I was only interested in the gorilla, other monkeys not so much. At most I can use them to optimize my palms and feet for climbing. Now for the next zone. The so-called Australian zone. First thing I found here were the sloths. Contrary to popular belief, they can be dangerous. Their curved, sharp claws are 8 to 10 centimeters long. If Ice Age was accurate, the sloth would have maimed the saber-toothed tiger. And I want those claws. 10 centimeters extended range is no joke. That's the length of some daggers. Sloth DNA acquired. Getting their DNA was pretty easy. Next to the sloths were the koalas. They have no real purpose and are pretty useless to me, but I still got a drop of blood from them. They are quite the vicious animals when they want to be. Now come the kangaroos. These muscular boxers are very useful, especially for modifying my legs. Getting kicked by that will leave so much more than a bruise. but at the end with their necks exposed like that, knocking them out wasn't that hard. They did hear me coming even though I was practically silent. Kangaroo DNA acquired. The next habitat made me facepalm. Pandas. They put freaking pandas here. They were probably just too lazy to make another enclosure with bamboos, so they combined the pandas with the koalas. Whatever, got a drop of blood from them and left. I didn't even have to use anything. Just a small prick and it was over. How they survived up until this point will forever be a mystery to me. Now here is the real stuff I'm here for. Australia is notoriously dangerous for its venomous animals. There are literally too many to count, and only a few are here. I will need to go pay Australia a visit. Inland taipan, that small snake, has a venom that is potent enough to kill 100 humans with just one drop. Tiger snake, extremely venomous, bites can kill within 15 minutes. Eastern brown snake, extremely venomous, bites can kill within 15 minutes. Sydney funnel web spider, extremely venomous and painful, bites can kill within 15 minutes. Poison shopping has never been easier. I keep moving and I spot a picture of a jellyfish and a fish with some information underneath. Box jellyfish, named for their body shape, have tentacles covered in biological booby traps known as nematocysts, tiny darts loaded with poison. People and animals unfortunate enough to be injected with this poison may experience paralysis, cardiac arrest, and even death, all within a few minutes of being stung. Stonefish, the most venomous fish in the sea. The stings produced by the spines induce intense pain, respiratory arrest, damage to the cardiovascular system, convulsions and skeletal muscle paralysis, sometimes leading to death. Victims sometimes say death would have been a mercy. The pain is strong enough to leave lasting psychological damage. 66 venomous species call Australia home. I really need to visit Australia. ####. Hippos. Are they mad? This is Japan, why would there be hippos here? They are one of the most homicidal animals in the world. A hippo can snap a crocodile in half with its jaw, and randomly kills animals that go near it. It has killed more humans than any animal on this planet. And these idiots have petting pin and feed the hippo event. The stupidity of people never ceases to amaze me. Hippo big, so hippo must be slow. Freaking Neanderthals. Hippos can reach 50 kilometers per hour. I saw a video where they looked like they are swimming after a boat while doing the butterfly technique. Hippos are too heavy to swim. That thing sank to the bottom of the river, ran and jumped up in an attempt to sank the boat. Whatever, hippo jaw strength could be useful in some combination. Now the question is, how do I get its DNA? Even if I pierce their hide, the tranquilizer will take more time to spread because of their sheer size. I'm saving the strong stuff for the elephants. Hippos. Honestly, it's like putting a wolf in a cage with sheep. It's a recipe for disaster. Moving on. It's a bull. And it's one of those Spanish ones that are buff as hell. Egyptian hippos and Spanish bulls next to each other. Whatever, the bull is more than welcome. Strongest bull in the world. Will be here for only 1 month. A mixture of Belgian Blue Bull Colosseum bulls with their signature deadly horns. This bull has killed 5 people. People are not to feed him, or try to taunt him. Weight equals 1,780 kg, 3,920 pounds, and height 1.85 m. Wait, what? I get a better look at the bull, and holy shit. It's ginormous. How the hell is it still alive? Just Google Chianina bull and look at the photos. I did not know this existed. That thing is taller than me. Rhinos. Oh, we are back in Africa again. These homicidal maniacs are blind and they overcompensate by choosing to attack every time. They attack trucks, lions, and butterflies. They are born with a disability and they make it the entire world's problem. So do I want tank with a deadly horn and bad eyesight? I can fix this, so yes. Yes, I do. Rhino DNA acquired. Elephant. The African elephant. That's something you do not want see up close. That thing can weight up to 7 to 8 tons, has a height of 4 meters. And run 50 km/h. It's a fucking truck. I was already icy keyed once, the second time will not be happening, especially by an elephant. But I'm still getting the DNA. Its sheer size and the type of muscles they have will be useful. And just recreating their tusks will make a nice weapon if I form it in the shape I want. Wait. Can I make bones stick out of me? Kimimaro. Is that you giving me guidance? Mental note. Look into recreating the Shikatsumayaku. Word count 1180. A/N. There are frogs that stick out the bones in their arms and attack with them. The Wolverine frog. But to do so it first breaks its own bones and sticks them out through the skin. Nature is weird. Chapter 41, Zoo 3. Elephants are done, so the next area is giraffes. Not very useful, but I did read somewhere that they have pumps in their necks that help push the blood up. If I were to use those pumps on my arms and legs, doesn't that mean I will upgrade the advance? Food for thought. Whatever. Giraffe DNA acquired. I keep walking in the Africa section and there is another small building here that says snakes and spiders. So they did make separate buildings for the snakes. I mean they are smaller, so the cost shouldn't be that much. But it would have been better to just make a big habitat only for snakes. It would be easier to handle them this way. They need to find the guy who designed the zoo and sue him. This is a horrible way to structure a zoo. Black mamba DNA acquired. African bush viper DNA acquired. Oki got the few cobras and vipers that are here. If I want any more I'm going to need to go to Africa. Which I will have to do eventually. Why would I limit myself to Japan's quirks? I need to go all over the world and just prick any interesting person with my claw. 1 drop of blood is enough to get the quirk factor in the DNA, of course, building then growing the quirk is a different matter. ####. Okay, this is just stupid. How the fuck did they get a grizzly bear here? These guys live only in North America for a reason. I know I shouldn't complain, but I'm losing brain cells trying to comprehend how the fuck are they doing this, and in broad daylight too. No way they got all the animals with different climates here legally. A big proof for this is that grizzly bears are a freaking endangered species. I mean it's like someone stole a painting and hung it on his front door for everybody to see. No, this is not my problem. File all the incriminating memories from tonight in a new blackmail file. Who cares if they smuggle and poach animals? I might press on them a bit to give me a cut from the cake for keeping silent, and help cover some of their tracks. I enter the cage, and the fucker actually woke up. I have no idea how he did it. I am completely odorless and I'm wearing special shoes that make my footsteps almost completely inaudible. Graw, it lifted its head and looked straight at me, still drowsy from sleazing. Divine Demon 10%. I rush in just as it was starting to get up. I did a seek and a straight karate punch straight between its eyes. The thing lost consciousness before it could even make a sound. I rush in and grab its neck. Its weight makes my knees buckle, but I preserved and slowly and gently lowered it back on the ground. I just knocked out a bear, cool. I stab my sharpened nail on my index finger and stab it in its shoulder. I absorb the blood through the skin on my fingertips, as I have been doing all night. Grizzly bear DNA acquired. On to the next one, #####. That continued all night. I snuck around the whole zoo, getting DNA from every single animal. 1 drop from most of them and a lot more blood for the useful ones, that will speed up the process of making the demi-beast form. Now I'm at my final pit stop. Birdcage. For some bright reason, or to save costs somehow, they put all the birds they could find in one big ass building. I look at all the birds in there and there is no way I'm hitting all of them without them making any noise. Sleeping gas slowly spreads in the cage. The birds that are active at night like owls start to feel that they are about to go to sleep and their instincts force them to tighten their leg muscles, to not fall off of any surface they are resting on. This is how almost all birds sleep, with a vice-like grip on any branch they might be resting on for the night. It's really hard to even get up to where they are. Some birds prefer to be as high as possible and those were a pain in the ass. But in the end, owl DNA acquired. Eagle DNA acquired. Raven DNA acquired. Falcon DNA acquired. There were loads of different kinds of birds. And you know what this means. Wings, baby. I will be able to fly. Of course my weight will make it almost impossible for my animal wings to make me fly. But a quirk here and there, and it will work out. Okako, hawks quirk, and anyone with wings really. I need the quirk factor that makes their wings and back stronger so they can actually fly with them. Real birds have lighter bones, they are designed to fly. A bird can fly because its wingspan and wing muscle strength are in balance with its body size. It has a lightweight skeleton with hollow bones, which puts a smaller load on its wings. On the other hand, an average adult male human would need a wingspan of at least 6.7 meters to fly. I made my bones denser so I can fight better. That is the opposite of what is needed to lift off the ground. And I won't be able to pull off a 7-meter wingspan even if I could. I am way heavier than a normal person. I designed my body to fight. My bones and muscles are harder and denser even compared to other martial artists. But that's a problem for another day. Sadly there weren't any fish or marine life in this zoo. I'm going to have to go to another one. Now that I'm done with this place, let's go home and start making combinations with the DNA that I got. I got hundreds of new puzzle pieces and I'm excited. Just as I was about to leave I heard a loud thud. The first thing that came to my mind was fuck. A bird fell. Just as I was turning around there was a loud cawwcawwcawww. The little bird from the tree fell on a raven. Fucking hell. It had to be a raven. I didn't even wait a single second, that little shit is going to wake up the entire bird house. And once they start making noise someone will come to check to see what's wrong. 5 seconds after I leave the birdhouse. I'm still running at top speed then the birdhouse exploded with noise. Every single bird was awake, the noise was at the same level as a music festival. I need to leave and fast. Halfway towards my predetermined exit place. The lights of the zoo all turned on simultaneously. I dashed towards the shadows and immediately used chameleon camouflage to blend in with the wall. Because of the special gear, my clothes changed color as well. I enhance my ears. A single footstep every half a second. There is only one person. Probably the lame-o hero that was assigned to this dump. As soon as he comes near me I'm knocking him out and leavening. He stops 20 meters away from me and looks directly at me. You in the shadows, show yourself, right now. Oh shite. Chapter 42, Zoo 4. If you want to support me and read 10 chapters in advance, go check out my Patreon. https://www.patreon.com/alcoholic_panda. Also, join the Discord if you want to know what's going on and be up to date on all the shit I do. For example, I have been doing the second shift this week. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So IRLY haven't had a lot of time to write. I'm back to the first shift from next week. Discord.gg/6YYVM6TJ6T. ###. Shit. How can he see me? Come out, coward. Okay, calm down, he appears to be the stupid type. I would have called for backup at this point. Or he is faking it and has already called backup and now he is wasting time. Which means I need to leave, right fucking now. I turn off the chameleon camouflage and step into the light. So villain, you have finally shown yourself. Surrender yourself, you have no. Blah blah blah. Does this guy even hear himself? While he is busy mouthing off, I used all my knowledge to scan his body. Average height, slightly above average build. He has muscles, sure, but they are the kinds that just look good, there is no actual strength in them. He probably used some kinds of supplements to make them look good for the public. I can KO him pretty quickly, but I want to know how he found me. I was perfectly hidden. I the mighty sidekick. Okay, enough already. How did you find me? A voice perfectly replicated to match Garu says those words. That was my Quirk scanner. I can find any human presence within a 500-meter radius around me, making it perfect for rescue and watch duties. He says it, that stupid heroic voice of his. But this confirms it. He called for backup and is now stalling me for time. But I want his quirk. It's a useful quirk for a villain as well. Knowing when someone is coming makes things a lot easier. Now surrender, villain. He yells, getting into a fighting stance. Yeah, this will be over quickly. Claws. Divine Demon 5%. I focus most of my power on my legs that I have painfully trained every day since I was 3 years old. I dash straight at him. He tries to hit me with his left. I just grab his fist with my right hand and hit his face with my right elbow. He wasn't expecting to get hit so quickly, so I followed up by a quick uppercut with my free left. The uppercut forced his head upwards, but I saw his right hand holding something and I just jumped away just in time for his taser to miss me. Judging by the sound it made, it's one of the stronger and more expensive ones that they offer to heroes. Wow, what a great hero you are, using a taser to fight an unarmed villain. I mock him, hoping he will get angry. It would be hypocritical to believe what I say. After all, I would do the same thing in his position, just with a few more deadly poisons instead. Shut it, villain. I am Scan, the sidekick of Animal, and I will not be judged by the likes of you. Wow, these heroes get worse and worse. He just told me who is coming, and judging by his name we can safely assume he has something to do with animals. Duh. But the fact that I don't know what his quirk is and we are located in a zoo, means he has an environmental advantage over me. For all I know, he gets stronger for each animal in his vicinity. That will be an instant KO for me here, so I got to run now. I rush again, but this time. HAAAAAAA, he yells, similar to a green wimp. I know, these guys watch too much TV. I grab both his arms on the wrists and clench hard. Huh, unhand me, fiend. Okay, his way of talking is getting old, really fast. I pull my head back and headbutt him hard on the nose. Guh, I let go of his left hand and clench harder on his right, making him drop the taser. I pull back my arm, focus all my power on my fingertips. Stab. My fingers cut the flesh on his throat like butter. Half my hand is lodged there, with blood starting to flow from the wound. Cough. He stares at me in disbelief. I guess he never expected to die like this. He should have paid more attention, because it's dark. He didn't see my nails, and I specifically said to him that I'm unarmed. He dropped his guard a little. Sometimes this is all it takes. Not paying any attention in a fight or missing the tiniest of details will get you killed. Come to think of it, this is the first hero/sidekick I have killed. Well, may you rest in pieces. Your sacrifice will make me stronger in the end. I turn Divine Demon off. I take out my hand from his throat and stab both my arms in his chest. Activate Drain Code. This is a special bit of code that makes tiny holes in my arms that constantly absorb the blood of my enemies. Since the average adult has 5 liters of blood in their body, means that I can't absorb too much. But I made it so, by doing the simulations at a fast pace, it destroys blood faster than I can take it. It's draining on the stamina, but worth it. I need to get some blood containers like blood bags. This is not ideal for the current situation. A hero is coming, but I'm greedy and really want his quirk. Human DNA detected. Designation #02. Please enter a name for designation #02. After I got Bakugo's blood, I made it so each human blood that I find will automatically get a number. I write in the fallen sidekick's name. Subject SK scan, designation #02, SK sidekick. Running simulation with the DNA acquired. Quirk factor found. Estimated completion time 4.5 months. That's lower than Bakugo's 6, maybe it's because I'm somewhat compatible with the quirk, or it's just easier to recreate. For Bakugo's it has to make it so my body changes to be able to produce nitroglycerin sweat. More blood samples of subject #02 were found. Accelerating simulation. Then I felt it, the immediate drain on my stamina, but I can feel it using all the blood I'm taking in. The fresh corpse on the ground was turned into a mummy in just a few minutes. Simulation using the extra samples competed. Current success if activated 80%. For a 100% 10 days are needed. Holy shit. From 135 days down to 10. Well, it should be expected, I used every bit of DNA left in his body. It took a third of my stamina, but I will have a sensory quirk in just 10 days, this is awesome. Well, a baby quirk, but I can still train or grow it up to the level where it will be very useful. Now let's get out of here before. Scan. An inhuman roar sounded out from the direction I was facing. Of course, why wouldn't the hero arrive just as I was about to leave? Now I have to fight him too. Sigh. Can't an evil villain ever get a lucky break? Chapter 43, Zoo 5. Scan. The hero roared in anguish. Huh, so this is Animal. He has a similar build to Endeavor, tall and muscular, except for the barbarian look he is going for. He has brown hair, it's not long, but he has bangs that cover his forehead. You will pay for this, villain. How dare you kill my sidekick? He yells at me. The reason I'm not moving is that I don't know what his quirk does. Usually, that doesn't even matter. But I know his name is Animal and we are in a zoo. So rushing in for the quick kill has a good chance of succeeding, but it's risky. I will wait for him to strike first. Heroes and villains for that matter, go with quirks first, and everything else later. Hey. Beast soul, bear, as soon as he says those words, a dark blue aura erupts from him to form a bear. Something similar to Vixen from DC and Udyr from LOL. He looks like Spirit Guard Udyr. My quirk Beast Soul allows me to create any animal I want. And if there are animals of that species near me, I get a boost in power. There are a total of 10 bears in this zoo. Get ready to be mauled. Animal dashes straight at me 3 times the speed of a normal bear. Wow. What an idiot. Did he really just explain his quirk to me? Retards, all of them. This world is full of people fucked up in the head. How heroes are still alive I will never know. The record for bear running speed is a maximum of 56 km per hour. It's usually between 40 and 50 km per hour. This dude is going at 135 at least. But that would be impressive if he wasn't moving in slow motion. For me, triple boost isn't anything to scoff at. But my fears didn't come true. If his quirk counted every animal in the zoo, then I'd be in trouble. But since it doesn't, that means I can finish this. This is a perfect opportunity to try out the water stream rock smashing fist. Which is a way too long a name. I'll just call it water stream. That is enough. Now the way Bang designed it is to flow between enemies like a stream, then crashes into them with the force of a river. Its main point was defense first by parrying, then counter-strike. The water stream is then used to maintain the flow, pummeling the opponent into oblivion. Of course, to do any damage you yourself must be strong, otherwise, you are just dodging and parrying blows. This martial art is similar to Tai Chi, but without the useless parts in it, that make up the tradition of Tai Chi. I was able to recreate the martial art, but not that blue aura that Bang and Garu emit. I'm still a little lost on that one. Best guess is Chi or Chi. Other than that I have no idea, for now that is. Oh, here he comes. Bear strike. He yells out as he goes to strike me. His hand, covered in dark blue auras shaped in a bear paw with claws glowing slightly. Most likely signifying that more power is focused there. But wow, he really called out his attack. I guess All Might in all his stupidity influenced a lot of people. Congrats Johnny Bravo, you crippled every generation of heroes that come after you because you think it's cool to call out your attacks and they look at you like you are Jesus and copy your every move. Let's see what he can do now that he is buffed. His left paw goes straight for my neck, which is surprising since he is a hero, but I take a solid stance and hit his wrist with the back of my hand. Redirecting the force, and slinging his arm back. He looked stunned that his attack was brushed off so easily but quickly threw another one with his right hand / paw. I parried the next 2 strikes and an opportunity showed itself. Blinded by rage, he threw a large right hook, which I ducked under and I had a clear shot on his right side. I hit a strong karate punch right in his liver. Gah, he coughs out saliva and falls down on one knee. I wanted to continue by kicking him in the face, but his aura changed into a deep green this time and behind him formed a turtle before dissipating. So he is going for the defense and when he has a chance he will quickly change into an animal with more attack power. What's the matter? You took one punch from me and you are already curling up, trying to protect yourself. What a joke, and you call yourself a hero. If you keep this up, you will end up the same as your sidekick. Let's see if he is dumb enough to fall for the obvious trash talk bait. Damn you. How dare you mock Scan's death? I will kill you. He roars and rushes me with a green aura flaring around him. I haven't even hit him, and I can already tell how thick the aura is, there is a certain depth to it. My attacks will probably be halved if I attacked him like this. This is a good application of his quirk. He rushes at me, considerably slower than before but the green energy is focused on his hands. I don't know what it will do but there is no reason for me to find out. Using his slow speed I enter Divine Demon 20% for a single second, 2 at the maximum. And land 8 blows in that time. I can see him flatter for a second, before the green energy turns an even deeper color. That made me realize what is the function of his defense form is. It's a counter, in a way, he stores up the damage I do to him and releases it back at me. But to use that he would have to hit me in the first place. Let's see how much punishment he can take. Word count 1050. A/N. The idea for the turtle is from Tulugodulu 2. That turtle shield guy. Forgot his name. Garu was more aggressive, more monstrous, that's why his theme is called I'm a Monster. But that doesn't suit the MC, if anything he is more like Bang, calm and collected. Tell me what you think. Plus I like Bang's theme more. Chapter 44, Zoo 6. If you want to support me and read 10 chapters in advance, go check out my Patreon. patreon.com/alcoholic_panda. Join the Discord for more information, announcements, or if you just want to talk about the fix. Discord.gg/6YYVM6TJ6T. #######. We exchange punches for quite a while. And by that I mean I keep hitting him and dodging everything he throws at me. Seeing him move in slow motion and being faster than him, makes it easy. Stand still, coward. He tries to goad me into taking his attack. Which by now is so dark green in color that there are a few black spots in there. Just a little bit more and he will reach the max amount of what he can see. I wonder what will happen if he doesn't realize the energy. By now he is already breathing heavy and showing obvious signs of strain. Pow, oh, there goes his nose. My attack sends his head back. Rah, but that doesn't stop him, he continues with eyes red from anger. 2 more and he will reach his limit. Let's try and get it done with 1. Another liver shot should do the trick. Divine Demon 20% 1 SEC. Faster than he can react to I enter his guard. I dashed towards my left and appeared at his right side. Since I already hit him here earlier his bestial senses knew what was about to happen and he tried to stop it subconsciously. But it was too late. Crack. There goes his rib. I put everything I had in that punch, even with his defense boosted I still cracked a rib. Thud. He falls down on the ground, but I'm not stupid enough to fall for it. With that final hit, the energy on his hand is almost pure black, compared to the light green he started with. I'm interested in seeing what he will do now. He is like a balloon that is on the verge of popping. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! He roars as he stands up. Take this. Beast soul, turtle deep shockwave. He punches the air in front of him with both hands. The energy turned into a blackish green shockwave headed straight at me. Shockwave, huh? I was expecting a bit more, I mumble, kind of disappointed by his attack. I crouch down and put my hands spread open in a claw-like shape in front of me. One high above my head, one down below. Divine Demon 30%. Super OS Advanced Calculation. Water Stream, Redirection. As soon as the attack hits me, I grab it and spun my arms to throw it to my right. Boom! It just destroyed the wall that was behind me. Impossible. He stares in disbelief, hands on his knees to stop himself from falling down. My hands are red from the impact and have a little steam coming from them. The air friction did some damage. I also started to breathe a bit more. The 30% tired me out more than I thought. Damn, that stings. I say it out loud on purpose, to lower his motivation even more. He just chuckles darkly. Stings, he says. Fucking monster. Is that all, or do you have another ace in the hole? I ask him while looking at my palms as they regenerate. I have said this before, but see may kicken/life return for the win. He stares down at his feet for a few moments. I can see the conflict happening inside him by the expressions on his face. After a while, he raises his head and looks directly at me. I will take you down, even if it means my death. Beast soul, tiger. His energy forms an orange tiger behind him, before all of it goes to his hands again. This is great, I accept your resolve and I will give you a warrior's death. I know very well that there is a camera on him, he had it on from the start, so it's pointless to stop it now. So I used it to show off Divine Demon a bit, just to have an excuse for when people ask Shinichi Kodo about it. It's very simple, both are martial art geniuses and steal techniques from each other. If they ask Garou, he can say, why wouldn't I steal techniques to become a better fighter? On the other hand, Shinichi Kodo can just say he will perfect Garou's martial art and beat him with it. An excuse for both of them to use each other's techniques. And if people start to copy them with the guidance of Shinichi Kodo, who by then would be recognized as a leading figure in the martial arts world, then that would be just perfect. Hey. He rushes at me in his tiger form. Apparently, his attack speed increases with this one. And not by a little, he got a 50% boost. That's double his usual attack speed, and he is well trained. But sadly for him, I'm his counter. My increased perception allows me to see his movements, and with the water stream, I parry all his blows. Our hands are literally a blur if anyone saw this from another perspective. Even at his top speed he still couldn't do anything to me, and I could feel him slowing down. It's over. He will run out of fuel in a few seconds. Time to end this. I have had my fun, I need to get his blood and leave before more heroes arrive. I have had fun, animal, but it's time to finish this. His eyes widen as his instincts scream at him to dodge. I turn my nails into sharp claws and raise my right hand. Divine Demon 30% 1 SEC. SORU. I quite literally disappear from my previous position, in both animals and the camera's view. When he finally realized I was in front of him, he froze at the sight awaiting him. My hand was inside his chest, right where his heart was. Cough. He coughs out blood from his mouth. I start to absorb some blood through my hand. It was a good fight, animal. The best one I have had so far. Take honor in that. I say solemnly, even if most of this is just an act for the camera. I can't exactly say that he was pathetically weak, at least by my standards. They would send stronger heroes after me if I admitted that. Take honor in it. He chuckles darkly. No, it is you who should take honor in this. I was confused at first, but then I felt his body heating up. Immediately I knew something was wrong, and just as I was about to dash back. Beast soul, phoenix form. Word count 1089. Chapter 45, Zoo Final. Okay, I'm not dead. This is not dropped, and no, I was not ice-guyed. So for those that are not on my Discord or don't pay attention to it, I am in a different country right now. I took some off days from 24 to 29 January. My passport is running out, so came here to get a new one. Turns out my corona vaccine ran out as well. So I had to get a new one. Then Friday I was getting ready for the plane. Took the plane on Saturday, and here we are Sunday. This week I don't know if there will be any releases. I will be dealing with the passport thing and meeting old friends who I haven't seen in months. So don't go panicking if I don't post. ####. Beast soul, phoenix form. He yells out as flames started coming out of him. I tried to dash away as fast as possible, but my right arm, which was stabbing his heart, took a lot of damage. Everything from my elbow downwards was charred black. As soon as it happened, I cut off all pain receptors in my arm. This is my final form. One that burns everything I have left. I will not let a threat like you survive. I must end you here for the sake of everyone. With that little speech out of the way, he dashed straight towards me, his flames hotter than ever. Damn it. The worst opponent really happened. An AoE flame type. The one type I can't really deal with yet. My only choice is to keep dodging. With my arm like this, I'm not in any situation to fight. The water stream is useless now. It requires both hands to parry and to counter-strike effectively. Get back here. He keeps rushing at me like a wild beast. Like hell, I'm taking a hit from you. You are putting everything you have left in these hits. I'll drag it out. It's better if he exhausts himself first. If he really started to burn his life force for this, he ain't gonna last long. Right, where he will put the final strike, that's when I counter. I kept dodging for almost a full 10 SEC before he realized my intention. He then decided to give up the chase and took a different approach. Screech. A primal cry of the phoenix echoed across the zoo. Every animal hid out of fear, their instincts screaming at them, telling them of what's about to come. My own instincts are screaming at me to dodge this by any means necessary. Phoenix style, first strike. Dawn of the Phoenix, solar flare. His hands compress all the fire around his arms. He thrusts his hands in my direction, and the compressed fire leaves his hand like a laser. There was no way I was dodging this. If I went left or right, he would be there to attack me. So I went the only way I can. Up. I crouched down a bit, focused all my energy on my legs. And jumped. When I started falling, I used the move I prepared for this occasion. Jeppo. I jumped again on thin air, and left behind a small shockwave where my foot stepped on. What? Well, there goes his first move, which must have taken a lot out of him. Not like I'm in a better situation. I have used Saru and Jeppo, one time each. I have about 3 to 4 times left before my legs give out from the stress. Huff huff. His breathing is heavier a little more and he is finished. Phoenix style, second strike. Is this dude seriously going to call out every time he attacks? What at these heroes and their special attacks? The only reason I name mine is so I can categorize them and add statistics to them. High noon, flame burst. From his wings, 4 attacks launch like missiles. Each took a different direction before they arched and started heading straight for me. Shit. A homing attack. The flame missiles followed me no matter where I ran, each aimed at a different position. My mind raced as I saw them coming in slow motion. All my focus was on calculating their trajectory and ways to survive the attack. Blocking with my body was out, the power behind them would leave me with serious if not fatal wounds. After many calculations, the best possible action was to use physical objects in the zoo to take the attack for me. But then again the problem was that I had 4 attacks to block. So I went ahead and broke a metal sign with my fist. I was forced to use Divine Demon for that second, further lowering my stamina, not by a lot but do it too many times and it adds up, and I am running on low. I quickly use Saru, ignoring the strain in my legs. I hide behind a fast food store and position myself so 2 of the hits go there and I take the 2 that come from behind me. I wave the sign at the first missile which did its job, completely decimated the sign part. All I'm left not is a metal pole and a missile incoming. With no other choice, I grip the pole like a throwing spear and focus every bit of my strength on this throw. Divine Demon activates as I throw with all my strength right at the center of the missile. My calculations and the fact that I copied the spear throwing motion from the old Olympics. The metal pole flies true as it hits the center of the missile with great strength as the attack starts to dissipate and completely stop just half a meter in front of me. Just as I was about to relax my aching muscles, my instincts started going all over the place. It's not over yet. Solar eclipse. Suddenly I hear animal from behind me as I try to jump forward, then I feel pain in my back. While I was busy dodging, the bastard sneaked up on me. It was a 2-part attack, distract and hit when they are running. Not a bad plan, to be honest. Definitely didn't expect this from a hero. The attack had the same strength as one of those missiles, but I positioned myself so I dodged most of it. I'm just glad it wasn't a ranged attack or I would have been a goner. Damn, you are one tough bastard. Animal slumps down a bit, he is weakened even more, his breath is more ragged, he has 1 attack left. I don't say anything as I focus on making Sime kick and work overtime on healing my wounds, making my already low stamina drop even further. Damn it, it had to be a fire type. Why couldn't it have been earth so I can at least hit it? Animal looks at me before he clicks his tongue. Tisk, looks like I have to use the 3rd strike. I was hoping to avoid it, so at least my family has a body to bury, but I have no choice. He mumbles the last sentence to himself, but I hear it clearly, making my guard go on an all-time high. If his corpse won't make it, then it's a suicide attack. Well, the whole phoenix from is a last stand, but this one will most likely be the strongest. Think, god damn it. Think. How do I dodge it? All of a sudden animal's fire wings disappear. Jet flames. And like a rocket, fire explodes from his upper back, pushing him straight at me with no guard whatsoever. He reaches my position in no time at all. Asterisk scree. Asterisk. A phoenix cry was heard, like it is crying from sadness. Animal closes his eyes, as tears start to fall. One last sunset. Supernova. Boom. A bright flash could be seen inside the zoo, carefully contained inside a 10-meter radius so it wouldn't harm the animals. As the flash was fading, a bit of green could be seen in the ball of fire. The green flash, signaling a soul has left the world of the living. Word count 1236. A/N. In the Pirates of the Caribbean, the green flash meant a soul has returned to the land of the living. I don't know, I wanted to make it like this. What do you think? ####. Fight. Equals strike 1, dodge with Jeppo. Dawn of the Phoenix, solar flare. Equals strike 2, dodge, get hit with minimal damage, and try to hurt him, dude heals. High noon, 4 flame shots from 4 directions, like missiles, a yin ulti reference. Equals strike 3, final and strongest one, get damaged, but return with a fatal attack to his head. One last sunset, supernova, a little green flash in the end says it in a sad tone. Equals leave before other heroes arrive. A/N, fuck, throw down some ideas, I can write the chapter quick, but I'm stuck on the names. At first I wanted, dawn, noon and dusk, for the sun positions, now I don't know. In all honesty, This was inspired by Might Guy's 8 steps when he was all red. He used the Death Gate, and Animal used his Phoenix form. Ideas for attack names: Suzaku, Vermilion, Eclipse. Solar Flare, Solar Burst, Solar Explosion, Strom. Hallowed Dawn, Hallowed, Revered, Prominence. Coming of the Ra, Amon Ra. Chapter 46, Aftermath. Well, I'm back. Everything will be going back to normal. MS will still be a little late. Man, you won't believe the pain it is to write the unboxing chapters. Hope you enjoy the chap. Hashtag 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 hashtag. After the attack faded, the 20-meter wide fireball started to shrink. All that was left was a giant hole of scorched earth. Not even a corpse remained. That was Animal's plan. But plans don't always work out as intended. Thud. Asterisk cough. Cough asterisk. Ha 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 ha, I almost died, you bastard. A soft voice was heard from the crater. Out of the sky fell Garou. He looks down to his legs, only to see that everything below his thighs was gone and the thighs themselves were cauterized. Hashtag hashtag hashtag. Fucking bastard. If I didn't use every bit of energy I had left on a stupidly risky combination of Saru and Jeppo, I would have died. It didn't even work as intended. The fireball was 10 meters high. I was supposed to go above that, but since I haven't done much testing on this stupid technique, it failed and only got half of me there. When the fireball hit, it burned at my legs and lifted me up further. Not that the loss of legs happened from the fire, they were already broken by the insane jump that I did. Oh, the irony. I'm Deku 2.0. That was a freaking close call. I'll take this as a painful lesson not to underestimate people. And I should have cut off his head at the start. Instead of messing around. Seimeikikan won't be able to heal this alone. Ah, what a pain. I won't be able to leave like this, and there is no way nobody saw that attack. I enter autophagy to slowly turn into a snake. I don't have time to do first aid. I need to leave before this place is crawling with heroes. Animal's camera was burned with that blast. So nobody will see me transform. As soon as I turned into a normal snake, the ones whose DNA I got from those exotic pet keepers, I slither away in what could be called a failed mission. I got the DNA from the animals, I got the DNA from the heroes. But the injuries I sustained are unacceptable. Luck played a small role in my survival. Something I don't want to ever happen again. Hashtag hashtag hashtag. The police and heroes arrived soon after Garou left, or slithered away in his case. Even the number 1 made his appearance. He is currently standing in front of the crater. Animal. You fought bravely, All Might says sadly as he looked down. You knew him, All Might? Detective Naomasa questions with a tired expression on his face. Not much. He once asked for a favor from me to appear on his son's birthday. He was a family man, yet despite that, he chose to make the ultimate sacrifice. All Might turns to his longtime friend. Naomasa, tell me truthfully. Did he get the one who did this to him? All Might gaze contained so much rightful rage that he made the detective look down and sigh. Right before the camera was destroyed from Animal's final attack, we saw the villain blur suddenly. Now that may be from the heat messing with the camera, but it can also mean the villain did something. And the fact that we didn't find the slightest bit of remains from him is pointing at the scene where he survived. All Might finish his sentence. Yes, Naomasa just nods sadly. Put a bolo on him. Villain Garou is responsible for the death of hero Animal and his sidekick Scan. Extremely proficient in martial arts, Quirk, unknown. Extremely dangerous. Rank a threat. Are you sure? Rank A seems to be an exaggeration. Naomasa did not question All Might, the bolo might not be his call to make. But he can easily do it with his connections. The fact that he didn't use his quirk the entire time makes for 3 scenarios. He doesn't have one, which is highly unlikely. There are quirkless masters, but the ones that turn to crime can be counted on one hand. No, Masa nodded at that. The second is that his quirk isn't combat-oriented, which is a possibility. Or the third is that he thought that they were too weak to use his quirk on them, and only used it when he was about to die. I'm thinking it's the third scenario. All Might gave his thought on the matter. What about the thing that he does to make his veins bulge? Could that be his quirk? All Might shakes his head no. That is a martial arts technique. When I was studying in America, there was a hero with a weak quirk, who relied only on martial arts. He wasn't very strong, but he did good work. He used a similar thing. It's where the user speeds up his blood flow, resulting in increased strength, and why he looks like that. It's an extremely risky thing to do. But almost all top-tier martial arts are able to learn and do it. But the consequences of weakening the heart stops them. Great. Just great. A suicidal maniac whose quirk we don't know, and is able to kill a strong hero with his bare hands. So what now? Now I need to go explain to Animal's family why they have to bury an empty casket. All Might takes one look at the crater before he turns his back to do one of the most difficult things a hero can. To tell a family their husband/father won't be coming back. Mesa sighs. He has told All Might many times that he doesn't have to be the one to do this. But the man refuses every time. It's his way of seeking forgiveness, by suffering through this for the failure of not arriving on time. That man carries too much weight on his shoulders, and it will ruin him one day. Word count 969. A/N haven't had one of these in a while. Less than 1k words I mean. I usually end the chap where it feels like it should end. But the word count is still funny. I laughed when I saw it at the end. Chapter 47, Aftermath 2. Hero Animal and his sidekick Scan brutally murdered at the zoo yesterday. New villain Garu. New serial killer on the loose. All Might angry. Sleeping Kaguro failed to deduce anything about the villain. Famous detective Mori Kaguro, or better known as Sleeping Kaguro, with his quirk, sleep deduction, has caught numerous criminals before. Has now failed to come up with anything. His comment was, "For my quirk to work I need a minimal amount of clues left by the villain or criminal." The fact that there aren't enough shows how dangerous this villain really is. So that's Ran's father. Well, at least in this world he seems like a competent detective. He owns his private firm, which is going quite well actually. Here I am laying in a warehouse I got from my extortion tactics. There are emergency supplies here that I used to ease the pain in my arm. I started to heal it from the inside out. All I need is to make new skin and shed the old one, which should be pretty soon. I called my parents and told them I'm staying over at a friend's house. There is no way parents will let a normal 9-year-old do this. But luckily for me, I'm not exactly normal. When your kid can beat adults black and blue, you have a lot less to worry about. My arm is almost healed, but my legs are a different matter. I'm currently walking with simple plastic prosthetics. I'm very pissed that I lost my legs. They were the most trained part of my body. I have been training them for years. Well, at least I can rebuild them to be stronger this time around. Which will be a pain. I have the schematics in my head. But the necessary energy is impossible for me to gather, in my current state. I already have a digital model of my body made, and have lizard, salamander, and axolot DNA already acquired. Thank you, exotic pet collectors. So the how isn't really a problem. It's the energy required to do it that's holding me back. The size difference between me and those animals is too big, and they regrow their limbs at a much slower rate in the first place. I really need to go and find Fat Gum. But he is located in Isuha City, that's in the Kansai region of Japan. If it's a quick little wound I can pull it off easily. But then I have to wait 6 months for the simulation to finish. Then who knows how long until I can actually use it properly. But then again, it's not like I will use his version. I plan to combine it so my cells can hold more energy. Kind of like food immersion from Toriko. I should look into that. Maybe somebody actually has that quirk in the first place. Click. There, these should serve as my legs for the meantime. With my quirk there aren't many things that I can't find on the net. Some schematics for bionic prosthetics are easy. There are even free ones on the net. So people can build them alone. These are the fancy electrical type. And plus side, I redesigned it real quick, by getting rid of the complicated parts. I command it directly with my quirk. At least I can go home now. My parents shouldn't be able to notice a difference. I need to go and buy more supplies. I should max out my current energy capacity before I do anything else. And I need scans quirk and a few animal transformations before I do anything else. Currently, I am weakened a lot. Most of my techniques rely on me having a solid stance and getting power from the earth, which is just a wuxia way of saying that a solid stance means the energy from pushing against the ground goes up the legs, hips, back, shoulder, arm, then finally the fist. Which any self-respecting martial artist knows. But since I kinda lost my legs, my power is literally halved. I'll need better prosthetics to change that, but I don't plan on wasting time on them. I'd rather look for a faster way to get my legs back. And I need a way to fight against AoE types. They are so freaking annoying. I was planning on using Rankyaku on them, well that's not happening anytime soon. Maybe I should get guns. Yeah, let's go with that. I was stupid for not carrying one in the first place. But one thing I didn't expect was All Might's reaction. He was really angry, at least that's how he looked in the headlines. Since this is an O world, anything is possible. But what are the odds that they were friends? Not like it matters anyway. The old man will be fighting All for One soon. If things go the same as the plot, All Might should fight Toxic Chainsaw first. Then All for One in an undisclosed location. But that won't stop me. I didn't bug the police and more importantly Detective Naomasa, All Might's close friend, for nothing. As soon as they meet, I will be sending spy flies to record them. That footage can be used for various things. Mostly blackmailing the big guy, in case he starts to threaten me. In which case I will need a way to kill him real quick. If I cannot beat him at that point in the future. Ugh. I rub my eyes with my hand. Fuck you, animal. So many problems of my problems are related to you and your stupid suicide mission. If you didn't destroy your corpse I would have gut you like an animal and strung you to bleed out over your own agency. Sigh. What a drag. Word count 969. A/N. Isn't this the second time this has happened? 969? What are the odds? Food immersion Toriko. Food honor master, Chin Chin, short bald guy. Hashtag. BTW, I got COVID, was laying around at home for a few days, got tested today again. Negative. So I guess I'm okay now. I didn't even have any symptoms except a light cough. Oh, and for MS I'm almost done. I have 8 advanced chaps currently. I need to write 2 more so I fulfill my promise, and then I will start posting MS chapters. They are a pain to write because of the randomizer, but that's what makes them fun. So wait a little bit longer. Normally I would have finished them already. But I have been a bit bummed out because of the COVID thing. Fine now. So yeah. Enjoy. And drop some stones, will ya? It's raining stones. Hallelujah. That's a weird sentence, but whatever. Cocktail glass glowing star beer mug. Just found this thing, can't believe I haven't seen it before, it's awesome. Chapter 48, Planning. If you want to read ahead or just to support me, go to my Patreon/alcoholic_panda. There are 5 advanced chap for tier 1 and 10 for tier 2 for both MS and MHA. Also some chapters from my other fics that I write occasionally. I think there are like 7 more fics there with 3 to 7 chapters. Join the Discord server for updates, spoilers, discussions, etc. discord.gg/6yyvm6tj6t. Enjoy the chap. ####. Y4. Day 186. 2 days ago when the zoo stealth mission happened, I got my ass handed to me by Hero Animal. That was after I killed his sidekick and stuck my hand in his chest delivering the fatal blow. But Animal had a suicide attack that turned into an AoE fire type Phoenix form. He had a time limit where he used up all of his remaining life force. And used it in 3 powerful attacks. Each is named after the position of the sun. Sunrise, high noon and sundown. The result was his death, and me barely surviving it with losing both my legs and suffering burns on the right hand, the hand that was in his chest, when he entered the form. Now I am searching for ways that I can gain my legs faster. At the current progress, the estimated time is 1 year. I need a quirk that will allow me to hold more energy/calories in me. The maximum limit of what I can hold now, using various means, mostly C-Makikan, is about 400,000 calories. Calories is just a measurement I use of how much food is needed to turn into energy that I can hold in the cells. Normally that would be impossible. A normal adult human can hold about 80,000 calories. But I force every cell that is capable to hold the energy to do so, resulting in my having more. Which doesn't mean that much, since I use it up almost immediately and there are no after effects on my cells. Inspired by the whole calorie thing in Toriko. But by my calculations, I'm going to need about 3 million to start healing my legs properly. It's not like I can start and just stop. That's just stupidly reckless. I need to form the bones first, then the blood vessels, nerves, and muscle. If I just stop, I will only have bones and a few vessels and nerves on my legs. Man, I wish I had that Nomu's hyper regeneration right about now. What I plan to do is make the skin first, so I don't get an infection, then start making the bones. I made new tougher bones altogether. Throughout the years I have been conditioning my bones, by making micro fractions on them, and using C-Makikan I infused a lot of minerals in them. Now they will have a slightly changed cell structure than ordinary bones, making them even more durable. The blood vessels will be toughened up and made more elastic, to serve as a test run. Simulation is one thing, but I still need to test it out at the end of the day. If this works, I will make my entire circulatory system the same. This means I can up the percentage of Divine Demon, giving me more of a power boost. Now the muscles. I want to increase their density and the way they are formed. I want to do something like Wakatoshi from Kengan. Increased muscle density. Make it so each fiber can dish out more force. And are durable enough so they don't break from just a few uses from either Saru or Jeppo. That reminds me, I need to make simulations about that move. I barely did them, because I never thought I would need them this early, and look what happened. I broke my legs, then I got them burned off. Great move. Just pure genius. That's the plan, but it will take a while until I do it. I might change my mind and just make them just as they were. Then upgrade them later. Who knows? ####. Some family time. People have been requesting that, so this will be a family scene. Shin-chan, is everything alright? My ever-happy mother who was next to me put her hand on my shoulder with a worried look on her face. Yeah, why wouldn't it be? I'm fine, pissed off that I have no legs but fine. Well, you haven't been training at all the last few days and I'm starting to get worried. This time it was my dad who was sitting in front of me. Didn't think they would notice that, to be honest. Okay, bullshit time. I am training. It's just a new type of training I have developed. I need my body to rest from all of the heavy lifting I have been doing, and the exhausting running. I will be doing stretches in my room and work on my flexibility. Liar liar, pants on fire, Why did that phrase just pop in my head? My mother's face lights up and she claps her hands together. That's great. We were worried that something happened and got you depressed. You aren't bullied at school. I know we talked about this, but I can't help but worry about you skipping so many years. Nope, no one is bullying me, not like they can in the first place. When is the next tournament taking place? They really try to bond with me. I noticed this after a while. But even though they have no interest in my hobbies besides programming, they at least try to know something. It's not for a few months. They are getting boring. I might stop going to the ones that are below 16. Honestly, I'm getting more famous from them. But wasting time on fighting children isn't ideal. And it doesn't look good for me if I outclass them too much. People might think I'm bullying them. So when I fight people that are closer to my age, I have to hold back a lot. Are you sure that's a good idea? Sigh, I guess this is a mother's job. They never stop worrying. To be fair, if I do that, I will be fighting people that are 10 years older than me. Not like I haven't done it before. But this time all of them will be 8 to 10 years older. Yeah, it won't be a problem. I will, however, be going on more tournaments that are in different cities and possibly different countries. I want to see new things and more people to steal blood from. Meaning more quirks. You know, I was invited to go to the European Junior Olympiad in informatics as a guest 3 months from now. If you want, you can try your luck there. This one will be held in Rome. Now that I'm interested in land of pasta and pizza, here I come. Oh, and the new potential quirks to get to. Yeah, I would love to go, I say with a smile. That's great, we can make it a family trip. My mother hugs me from behind, and by the tone of her voice, I can only assume she is smiling. Well, then it's decided. In 3 months. We are going to Rome. Word count 1150. A/N, mostly for me to keep track of the days. Y for 163. Day after Kaido Kid. 166 Friday upgrade. Day 169 waking up. Ch 34 few days. 175. Ch 36. DAU 179 Kaido Kid. 38. Day 180. Zoo equals day 184. Chapter 49, Chin Chin Chin. Sorry for not updating for a while. This week has been one of the saddest, most depressing, sleep-deprived ones I have had in my life. And nothing major even happened. I was doing the mini job as a favor from my friend. He had some pressing matters, so he asked me to fill in for him. I was like, sure, it's only 1 week. But when you leave home at 5 a.m. and come back at 5 p.m. from work. I usually write after work. But I had to sleep because the mini job is like 2 to 3 in the morning. And it takes me 1.5 hours to finish it. I relied on coffee and energy drinks to get through the week. I finished yesterday and siped into a fucking coma. Waking up at 1 p.m. Finally had a decent sleep. I will hopefully be writing a lot this weekend. Hopefully. Please. This week has been shit. Give a man his much deserved time to spend on his writing hobby. Hashtag. Motherfucker. I spent the last week looking for anyone with a quirk remotely similar to Fat Gums. I hit a dead end with the hero or sidekick route. Then I thought about maybe someone in the food industry might know a guy. Because if you eat that much, you spend a lot of money. So there must be some rumors about you. So a few emails here and there. It's nice to have contacts, and I freaking found a guy. Who turned out to be Chin Chin Chin. A character from Toriko. First, it was Detective Conan, now Toriko. Stupid Morgan Freeman look-alike. What's next? I meet Naruto. Turns out the dude has the ability to store energy inside his body from the food he eats. He is an old-ass man of short height with a stout body who wears traditional Chinese clothing. He has a round face, is wearing small round glasses that conceal his eyes and a scruffy mustache that hides his mouth, and apparently he doesn't have a nose. Despite his short height, which at max he would weigh 40 to 50 kilos. The man weighs 1 ton. And he can also survive without food or water for months. That is his quirk food immersion. I want it. I need it. So I'll get it. But it's easier said than done. Chin is very rich gourmet enthusiast and an avid explorer. So he stuffs himself with expensive food, then goes on an adventure on foot. And because of his wealth, he has a security detail on him all the time that constantly rotates to keep up with him. The man tracked the Sahara on foot. 2 of his bodyguards died during the trip. They just couldn't handle it. So getting a drop of blood from a man like this will be tricky. The good news is that he is currently in Kyoto for the annual festival this week. The bad news is with his VIP status, there is a high chance there will be more heroes there to uphold justice and patrol the festival. What a pain. This is gonna need a lot of preparation and planning. Forget Kaido Kid and stealing jewels. This is the real Mission Impossible. I'm going to need some real Ocean's 11 shit right here. Those bodyguards are trouble too. They follow him everywhere, deserts, mountains, oceans. They are tough as nails. Quite literally the best of the best. I think they are even better than the Yaoruzu bodyguards. Mr. Yaoruzu hires people that are mostly ex-military and have good quirk synergy. He has 2 teams, one that defends the property, and one that moves with them. Chin on the other hand has only 1 team. That constantly moves with him 24/7. He is the hardcore setting for bodyguards. If they survive 6 months with him, they get a reputation boost in the security industry. That short bastard is the head of one of the biggest food companies in the world. And his word can mean life or death for a restaurant. He is freaking Gordon Ramsay with a $1 billion budget. It's said that owners and chefs actually pass out when he enters their restaurant. I would usually say bullshit, but there are videos and photos online taken by the Michelin staff in secret. This man makes the Michelin star thing so much easier. If he is happy, then it means that the food is good. He has no known residence. He constantly travels around and sleeps in hotels or anywhere he wants to. If he wants to sleep on the beach, he will. He once slept on the highest tree in the Rockefeller Forest, the forest with the biggest trees in the world. Just because he could. And I have to take a drop of blood from him. Wonder if I can bribe his doctor for a 1 drop. ####. Okay, the doctor thing is a bust. Turns out his personal doctor has been a family friend for decades. And they are finally tying the knot between the families. Both of their grandchildren are getting married together. Well, good for them. Bad for me. So that leaves me no other option. I'm going to have to steal it. It's quite surreal that his drop of blood to me is worth more than any amount of money in the world right now. Didn't Tetsuya say that he is going to Kyoto for the weekend? Beep beep. Yo Shin, what's up? You said that you are going to the festival in Kyoto, right? Yeah, you interested? I'm going too. I have some business in Kyoto, so we can meet up. Business sha? Who are you scamming this time? Please leave the gyms and dojos in East Kyoto alone. They are actually friendly to me. You can do what you want with the West. Nah, this is about my programming thing. Oh. Yeah, sure. Doesn't change the fact that you are going to scam someone. By the way, invite Momo and Ran to come with you. I raise an eyebrow at that. Why, I assume you are going to pick up girls on the day of the festival. Why would you want little girls to come with you? They are 9. Well, I'm 9 as well, but I'm your height. Momo is well known everywhere, and her bodyguards follow her around. I want to use the bodyguards to make me look important. They will make it so much easier to pick up girls. That is actually not a bad idea. Wow, so you can come up with something good. Fuck you. You MILF hunter. Teenage girls are practically throwing themselves at the martial genius and you just ignore them. He spits out. You are just jealous that you are not considered a martial genius. And she doesn't have to be a MILF. Just older than 18. I have no interest in moody, self-centered teenagers. You bet I am jealous. I'm just lucky I'm kinda popular in my town. So it's not that hard to do it in the first place. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse that you were born with a more mature mind. On one hand, you are better than your peers, on the other you don't want to date people remotely close to your age, and you have had plenty of opportunities to do so. Yeah, that's because I am not a lolicon. Whatever. Just keep winning, play some sports, dress well and you will have all the girls you want. Teenagers are simple-minded. How am I supposed to seduce a woman when I look like 13? I don't know, find some that want a Shota boyfriend. I can practically hear him shrugging his shoulders over the phone. Sigh. I'll see you at the festival. I'll call Momo and Ran. Word count 1124. Chapter 50, Festival. Yes, are for no releases. I have been dealing with documents and legal shit. Day 200, day of the festival. Word count 1290. ####. Thanks for inviting us, Shinichi Ran says while skipping. She was dressed in light blue yukata for kids. The ones with a lot of flowers on them. Thank you, Shinichi. Momo follows up, dressed similarly except hers is a bit more expensive and it's red. No problem, I smile at them while looking at the bodyguards that are subtly scattered around us. Yeah, you two are a good company, Tetsuya said while scanning the crowd. Both of us were dressed in jeans and a t-shirt. Except his was white and mine was black. Convincing them was not that hard. The parents even less. Momo's parents were happy she was going out with friends, and the bodyguards would take care of it if anything shows up. Mine were happy I was going out of the house and doing something with friends. And Eri-san just wanted Ran to have fun time. Then Tetsuya comes near me and whispers to me, yo, when are you going to do your business? I look at him weirdly in a bit, then I will come back. Why? 'Cause those chicks are starting at you. He slightly tilts his head to the left. I turn my head to see two girls giggling while looking at me. They look like they are 19 to 20 years old. Right up your alley. What do you think? He was so much less annoying before puberty hit him. But I can't really say anything 'cause I'm just as much as a horn dog as he is. I enhance my hearing and focus on their conversation. Equals. They were in that martial arts tournament, right? Doesn't the one in black shirt look adorable? I think the one in the white looks cuter. They will be hunks when they grow up. True, but they are still kids. You think they would let us take a picture with them? Please look at us, I bet they would jump at the opportunity. You are rig. Equals. I tune them out, I should have honestly expected this. Sigh. They aren't interested. This isn't the first time this has happened either. Honestly, it gets more annoying each time an attention-seeking person wants to take a photo with you because you are a little famous, so they can post it on their social media story. Tetsuya lifts his eyebrow judgingly. How would you know? Are you chickening out? You pussy. I just look at him like he is an idiot. His attempts to rally me up are pathetic. Ironically, he is doing something similar by using Momo's bodyguards. I read their lips, you moron. They think we are cute, but not cute enough to do anything with us. Plus they want to take a picture with us to brag about it with their friends. So they are that type, huh? Man, they never stop, do they? No. No, they don't. I look at the crowd trying to spot my target. We are nearing the food stands. So it should be happening soon. I should at least spot one of his bodyguards. I spotted one of our bodyguards and I remembered the conversation I had with them when I went to pick up Momo and Ran, at the Yayorozu mansion. Hashtag. Flashback. Chen? Why do you want to know about him? Asks one of the bodyguards I gathered to get some info. Well, it's said he has the best bodyguards in the world. How do they compare to you guys? They are trained pros, they will obviously see through me, but I'm their young Mrs. Friend. So they have to tell me whether they like it or not. Well, they won't tell me everything, but they will give me something good. Sigh. The group of trained bodyguards looked amongst each other and smiled wryly. Here I am, the guy that beat the crap out of them one-on-one. Asking them information on their fellow colleagues. Well, where to start? You know that we are split into two teams, right? One of us protects this estate, while the other follows the family when they go out. You beat up us, the team that protects the estate. I nod at him. Truthfully, while we can fight fairly well in close combat, it's not our specialty. We are a group that uses guns and teamwork. Our quirks were chosen for our ability to hold down the fort in case of an attack. He looks at me, probably expecting me to be shocked. I was unfazed by this news. Momo told me this a long time ago. Well, she told me what she knew, I figured out the rest. No way the real bodyguards will get beaten that easily by a child. Seeing that I already knew this, he clicked his tongue, passed some money to his friend on his left, who now had a shit-eating grin, but kept quiet. The group that goes out is a lot stronger than us, all around better combat specialist than us. And the gap is not small. Even then they can't really match Chen's guards. Just keeping up with the man is a challenge in itself, let alone fighting people and protecting him in an exhausted state. That reminds me. That fucking old monster geezer. I found out that he actually swam from Japan to Hawaii. That's 6,000 kilometers. Across the Pacific Ocean. Do you know what he said when he got to Hawaii? That was a good workout. Now to get the poke I ordered before I started swimming. The man swam 6,000 kilometers because he wanted to eat Hawaiian poke. He swam for 13 days straight. Stopped only once because he caught a rare breed of tuna, ate it and continued. He is a freak of nature. All of his bodyguards are elites. But Kano Agito is a whole other story. He has been with Chen ever since he was a teen. He followed that man through the toughest terrain on earth. He apparently trained himself in underground fight clubs, where even weapons are allowed. Another bodyguard took over the conversation. Before they started talking amongst themselves. Hey, didn't they say if he decided to be a hero he could easily enter the top 20? Oh yeah, they did say that a few years ago. Then they turned to me. Well, there you have it, kid. You might have the luck to meet the man yourself. Probably a dream come true for a martial artist like yourself. Yeah, a real dream come true. Great. Just great. Kano Agito is here. That wasn't on the internet. Kano Agito Kengana Jura. Bodyguard leader. Hashtag. I made several plans for today. While I was banging my head on how to get a drop of blood, it suddenly hit me. I don't have to be the one that gets the blood. I van hire people to do it. So I put out an open contract. Anyone who can get me a drop of his blood will get a certain amount of money. Depending on how much and in what way they get it to me. The highest amount they can get if they bring it to me in a syringe or in a tiny bottle. So a few crews will be attacking him independently, and I will try to take advantage of it and get some myself if I can. There will be fireworks later. So some of the crews will mostly strike then, when everybody is distracted. That single moment, all or nothing. It will come and leave just like a firework in the night sky. I wonder how many of them will die tonight?